Welcome everyone to the 31st episode of TCIN podcast Less Spaces. And today we are going to catch up after a long time and just in discuss general anything EV. In recent news, Maharashtra EV policy has been approved, so we will go through some details of that and just ask us anything. And yeah, Windsor 52 kilowatt hour is here.
Windsor Pro we can talk about. That's
Yes,
the
yes.
new.
Windsor we will talk about.
And Harrier EV, I don't know if there's anything to talk about, but we are seeing new photos nowadays.
Harrier, yeah, Harrier is to be launched on June 3rd, and it is going to have Goshen prismatic cells, I think octillion battery,
Is that
and
confirmed?
as best as I can say.
Okay.
But it's Tata, anything can change at any moment. Yes, Harrier pack is from Octillion, and Tata Sierra will get 62 kilowatt hour battery pack. That's a bit less than that should have.
See, if it is aerodynamically good, 60 is also okay. It is not less, I would say.
I mean, it could be base variant. They should have a indeed higher variant as well.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, because that car doesn't seem aerodynamic, and even the internal range estimate from what I know is yeah, it's the bit less on efficiency side.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's go through the Maharashtra EV policy first, and then we can dive into.
Yeah.
So from April 1st, it would be applicable for the 5 year till 31st April of 2030. So if you have accidentally paid road tax during this last 1.5 month, I think you should be able to get a refund of that. I'm not exactly sure on the process. Then there are three roads there on which EVs will get 100% road rebate. First one is Yashwatrao Chavan Mumbai Pune Expressway. Second one is Hindu Hriday Samrat Maharashtra Samruddhi Mahamarg. And third one is Atal Bihari Vajpayee Sevari Nahawa Sheva Atal Setu. Quite long names. And yes, government is planning some rebate on the other Maharashtra state highways as well. What is not clear in this document is if only Maharashtra registered EVs will get the rebate or all India EVs will get the rebate. So that's a bit unclear.
Maharashtra.
Maharashtra only.
Yeah,
Okay.
But how will they
it's a state
differentiate
subject.
it?
It's a state subject. Number plates and
Okay.
registration.
Yeah, and the government is planning 30% of all vehicle sales by 2030 to be electric. 40% in two-wheeler, 40% in three-wheeler. Cars are at 30%. Buses are at 40% in the fleet size of the six big cities of Maharashtra, and otherwise 15% electric buses in the private sector. Agriculture, tractor, combined harvester, government is planning 10% of those by 2030. And all the city vehicles bought by government will be electric. And then city utility vehicles in the six big cities Mumbai, Pune, Nagpur, Nashik, Sambhaji Nagar, Amravati. 50% of new vehicles will be EV here, the government city utility vehicles. And 50% of fleet composition, the government is targeting to be electric by 2030. And one EV charging facility in every government parking space. On the incentive sides, 1 lakh two wheelers will get a incentive of 10,000 rupees per vehicle. And in total, about 25,000 three wheelers will get incentive of 30,000 rupees per vehicle. On the personal cars, 10,000 personal cars will get 1.5 lakh rupees. 25,000 commercial four wheelers, cars, taxis should get 2 lakh. Light goods vehicle 10,000 should get 1 lakh rupees subsidy. Electric buses, 3,000 electric buses will get subsidy of 20 lakh rupees. Then four-wheeler goods carrier, I think medium category, they 1,000 of those will get 20,000, 20 lakh, sorry, 20 lakh rupees per vehicle. And then tractors will get 1.5 lakh subsidy. I think personal vehicles, it would have been fine if there wasn't any, but it's okay. I would more and more commercial vehicles. I think they need the push in that segment. But there's nothing in the heavy goods category, heavy trucks. So that's a category this EV policy is missing out completely. Road tax exemption for all EVs, registration tax exemption from all EVs, and yeah, government is also planning incentive for charging stations. Language is a bit unclear here because they are saying that DC charging for four-wheeler buses, trucks, power between 50 to 250 kilowatt. Now, I'm not sure if it is a per charging point power or the power as a whole station, but the per station incentive is 5 lakh rupees. So, thousand of those. And government requires four minimum charging point at a station. And for the for buses and trucks, 250 to 500 kilowatt, government demands two minimum charging points and incentive of rupees 10 lakh. I think charging side incentive, given the minimum point they are asking, they are just a bit less. I'm not sure the government has looked at the cost involved in the charging. And regarding residential societies, all new residential buildings should have 100% EV ready parking. All new commercial buildings should have 50% EV ready parking. I didn't get this point that why commercial buildings shouldn't have 100% as well. Yes, and the most important one that the fight has been going on for quite long regarding the current existing societies. Government has, I think, did a slight blunder here. Sham will disagree with me. The existing societies shall allocate shared electric vehicle charging spaces subject to approval by at least 50% of housing society members. And yes, so for the shared spaces, government requires 50%
That's
approval.
not going to come. That's not going to come. This approval
And
is
regarding dedicated parking, Sham has informed me that government or has already some circular out that they should issue the NOC, but it has been seen that that rule is not being enforced across Maharashtra. Uh, RWAs are still causing issues for people who want to install chargers. So this is a issue that will take time to be solved. But this this language of that approval by 50% housing society member, it is for shared spaces, but I think it is going to be interpreted by some RWA uncles for dedicated parking as well. So this needs to be tracked on. So yeah, this was overall that matters for a consumer. And
No, Nikhil, I would like to add, my recent observation that our, learned friend, Mr. Sumit, has now taken the Mahindra 9E. And recently, his society also, objected on the fifth clause of the Maharashtra policy that, multi-story parking spaces.
right.
So there is a lot of room for misinterpretation legally when it comes to, these notifications. But let us all, come together and we are soon, working on a legal solution for that on pan-India level. And I would like to motivate all the owners to just come together on a platform which we are going to create for getting legal remedies of all these misinterpretations across India. The details of that will be out very soon in the public domain.
I would like to give a shout out to Gaurav. He has been fighting for this in, I think, Noida, UP. Rakesh, am I right? So he has been
Yes,
meeting with
yes.
MLA and DM and DC, whatever. So yeah, people are fighting for that. But the responses from government side as well as Discom side, it still needs much more to be done.
Yeah,
So there
Gauraji,
has
Nikhil. Yeah,
there has
yeah.
to be
Sorry,
some,
Rakesh. Rakesh.
concrete policy around the charging stations and the personal charging space for the EVs. So there has to be some, policy enforced from the upside rather than people at the ground making all these efforts.
I mean, making effort is fine. We can't expect change at one day, but there should be some progress regarding that.
No, I think eventually, as more and more people buy, like, I think it is EV two wheelers and EV four wheelers are like, they have synergistic benefits. That is when now it's a lot more of a no brainer to buy a two wheeler, right?
Right.
And in places where there is no dedicated parking, there has to be an option, and that eventually will play out into a 15 amp socket or something where
Right.
people have priority for EVs, right? I think it'll evolve, right? Like people are not stupid to lose out on all the benefits that EVs get, at least on two wheeler, where it is a more of a no brainer, where you don't have long distance commutes and all of that, right? So I think it'll play out very well. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I would like to add, in this point that Shyam pointed out that in Maharashtra, we have already got a notification for any new building or apartment which is being constructed. The builder has to, give a plug point of 16 ampere as per the model code, building code. So that's a very welcome move, and I've seen, many builders yeah, implementing that on ground.
Yeah. And one more thing I wanted to point out, right? Like, I don't know if this is part of other policies, but for the specifically the one around the DC charging incentive that they're providing, the language they've used is interesting. They have said the state will establish a structured framework for viability gap funding for installation of DC fast charging stations.
Right.
So, what I believe is going to happen is that the state is going to identify the locations where the chargers need to come up, right? Like they'll create a grid, that 25-kilometer, whatever that number, and they'll say, hey, a charger needs to come up here, and they will open it up for people to bid, and whoever bids the lowest amount will get the rights to build it, which is a far more reasonable and structured way of going about it rather than just throwing the money at all the oil marketing companies, right? So this
You
is
know,
very encouraging.
let's hope BPCL doesn't bid here.
Yeah, four points they don't like to install, right? So I don't think they will bid.
Yeah. And
Anyone has any idea about that unified energy interface? Like, is
I
Pulse
think
and all of those guys doing this, or what's
I think
happening there?
we need to invite Akhil for a special session on that. Akhil Jayaprakash from Pulse Energy.
Pulse, right?
Yes, we should invite him in this month or so.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot going on that side. On
Right.
one side, you have that PME drive where BHEL super app, then
I
this
think
UOEI.
that's a bad idea.
Yeah,
B-
yeah, yeah.
BHEL doing an app because there are already existing 4 and 5 good enough aggregators. And
Right, right.
I think we are now going to have a bit too much of aggregators because some couple of new guys are also planning to aggregate the same chargers. So I'm like,
Mm.
that's not much beneficial, but they are still doing it. So
Yeah, and
we
on
might,
top of that, it
yeah,
looks like RBI is also looking into this space, where the e-wallets that are being used by this CPOs, right? Like with Blue Smart going down, the entire EV charging space is also being looked at about the closed wallet system.
Hmm.
So I hope
I
nothing
think
disruptive
UPI
comes.
integration is the best for this. Just,
No, it's not that simple, right? Like globally, if you see the standard is plug and charge, right? Like the
yeah,
best thing is no app, no RFID. You plug and charge, right?
right,
Now, if you introduce UPI, UPI doesn't have the option of doing a block per transaction. So UPI needs the payment upfront, and only then you can make the payment. So the alternative is a mandate where the customer registers a mandate on the app UPI auto pay or something,
Yes,
and they
yes,
set an upper limit, right? Like 1,000 rupees or 1,500 or something. And every time a session completes, the CPO can pull the amount from the bank account.
yes,
That
exactly.
seems to be the perfect one. And it can include cards, it can include net banking, any
Right.
mode, right? The mandate has to be registered.
Yes.
So,
And Shambai, that mandate is already implemented for FASTags. If you see into auto charge for that,
yes, yes, yes,
auto
yes,
reload. So that
yes,
is that
yes.
platform and that module is already existing in the NPCI way of working.
Infra,
So
right?
it
Yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't be a big thing for them to implement, by taking all the CPUs on board.
Right, right. No, it's not about even all CPUs, right? So we had a connect with Razorpay and Xeon where Razorpay already has an out of the box solution called autopay subscription or something, and it's just a toggle on the Razorpay side where an auto debit can be done as presented by the CPU. So if that is
Right.
done,
Like right
then that
now
will
we
be
have
great.
auto pay for the subscription of these OTT apps or etc.
OTTs, correct, correct. But that is on a frequency basis. So every month, every week, you can
Yes.
set that. There is another mode called as presented, where the vendor can present the bill and it's immediately approved, right? So I
Right.
think MG eHub has started that, where they have, at least it's there on the app, right, where you can say UPI autopay or something. But
Yeah, the new
you
appear
can
the that option appeared couple of days ago to me. I think.
correct,
But
correct. But it's not working for me. I don't know how that's going to play out. But yeah, it looks good. Like all these players are converging into that solution. So hopefully it works out.
and a request to CPOs that if you are still doing forced wallet or forced booking, please just do away with it. The booking thing is just a mess. I think
Yeah,
that's a
unfortunately, even the PME drive notification, right? It's saying that the BHEL app will support booking slots and all. So it doesn't look like that's dying soon.
HCL is never even able to, take off their CPU application. I don't know how will they do the aggregation stuff and all.
But BHEL is not a CPO, right? I think you
No,
are confusing the
no,
BPCL and
BH,
BHEL.
no,
BHEL
no.
makes the charger hardware, but they
Correct.
are not CPU. I don't know how they will work on the app and how they are going to force every CPU
But
to be on their app.
they had their chargers specifically with Delhi to Chandigarh. They had Bhil EV application as well, which
Yes.
never worked though.
Oh, right. The Delhi Chandigarh BHEL, those charger, I remember those. That was absolute disaster as far as I remember.
Speaking of that, has anyone used the Adani chargers? I came across one during a trip recently.
Yes,
The app was
Yeah,
so bad.
yeah.
It was almost impressive how bad the app was.
It's a standard Mnemosity app. There's
Yes.
nothing complicated about it.
Yeah, fairly unusable. I felt like charging, but the app was
That
so
that
bad.
that
I'd rather skip.
Yeah, Shashank, that app maybe was made during the Hindenburg report. I think.
no, but that is not made by Adani, right? Nemocity app is being used by 10 plus CPUs, if I know,
Correct.
almost, right?
What surprised me was when I searched for Adani EV on the Play Store, I found two Adani EV apps.
Yes,
There's
there
Adani
are two.
Adani
Adani
Gas.
ATGL and Adani Gas something. Yeah, there are two.
They're pretty decent. They use Exicom hardware. I think they're decent if they are in the play location that you want. I think it's worth using it. I've used them once. Pretty pretty decent.
Yeah, even I've used. They are using very good hardware from Exicom. They have got a
Correct.
tie-up with them for supplying the hardware. But software-wise, their two apps are confusing definitely. But they use the same monotonous skin that is being used by previously by even other CPU small CPU apps.
It's
Yeah.
a, it's a
Xeon also was
standard it's a
using.
standard app on
There's,
the market.
there's
That is.
consensus here on the best app. Uh, I personally think Static is the best or the least worst, at least. Uh, what
I
I
what
have
think the
the
best app is no app. That is my opinion. Just plug and charge and move on. But yeah.
I, in my opinion, the best app is Static. They have routinely provided the best service. Adani, I was shocked that it was the worst of the worst I have used ever. I tried to use one in Ludhiana. It failed at two locations. The charger was showing online, but when I went there, it was not. It was off.
I had a similar situation. I had the charger there, but the app wouldn't let me click on it or activate it or do anything basically on a brand. But static overall, in terms of interface and stuff, I think it's the most polished. It has its bugs, but by and large, is good to
MG
look at.
EV Hub is fine too.
Okay, I've not
I
tried.
I did a chat with a person who works at Static. He was a co-passenger somewhere I was traveling. So Static is also looking up for partners, and they want to sell the company. Actually, I'm not sure if he is 100% correct or not, but that was his position.
I don't think it's static. It's a Glida that is being sold. It's on market for anyone to buy.
Static is true. Static is trying to partner with Geo BP.
Cool.
They are trying to partner
Interesting.
with Geo BP. Glida is, I know, Glida is up for sale. Glida also some chargers are shown on Static app, and some are available on Charge Zone app. I think near Bhopal,
Yeah,
Static is that's
all Glida chargers are available on static app.
Yeah.
but a few of them are also available on Charge Zone also.
Yes, Tarzan is
No, but
also
but actually,
posting them.
actually, we should be very, actually, we should be very happy that this scale has come where companies are thinking of merger and acquisitions and maybe venture infusion into this CPO platform because that will give them scale as well as us the flexibility of having more
Yes,
charges.
yes, yes. That would be very good for consumers, us consumers. But
I
it
uh,
will depend which interface comes on top. I have used maximum. I have used Static, GeoBP, and Charge Zone. Charge Zone and Static have been the best ones.
Agree. Yeah. I wouldn't be caught dead using Tata.
Hey,
Tata
hi
is,
everyone.
Ta-
Yeah,
kind of the worst
yeah.
one, I think.
I think Tata is the worst one. No, same opinion about Adani too. It's not working right now. As of now, it's not working. It's showing it's working, but it's not working at all.
Yeah, hi all. So I just have a question. So I haven't bought an EV yet. Same problem. I live in a old society, so they are not allowing me to have a charger, install a charger. So how does the how practical is it to own a EV without having a charger at home?
I wouldn't suggest having an
it's
EV without.
practical.
It's
I
It
not
will
mean,
be up.
that practical.
It
unless
will be up.
unless your office has a charging space, it
Yeah,
is going to be hard without it.
So Ganesh,
Mhm.
which
you
location are you
No,
Chennai.
no,
from?
no, 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 no.
I'm from
So the
Chennai.
first thing is,
Okay, okay.
first thing is, what is your like? There are two or three categories. Like why I'm buying an EV. So you fall in which category? Do you want to reduce your daily expense of running, or you have some other vision?
So it's just like I like the technology more. I feel it's a superior technology than the old ice
So,
engine.
so if it's
So,
about technology, then there is no worry whether you charge at home, whether you charge at your office,
mm.
whether you charge from DCFC, but you still would require a 15 ampere or a 7.2 kilowatt charger so that you can have a slow charging sessions also.
But is there
Right?
any way I can force my like association to have? See, in fact, I have a, little bit
You
of.
can bribe them,
Mm.
brother. Bribe works in India, 100%.
I'll tell you what
You can just bribe
what
them.
I did.
I
When
think
I got my car,
uh, you should talk to your neighbors and get as many as of your society members to agree on that.
Yeah, but
Get
these
up.
guys are
it
living in
would be
Stone Age, man. See, they are saying like EVs are risky for the first floor people who are living in. I was telling him you are having all this like petrol and diesel cars, but they are not worried about the fire from them. So it's more like see lot of superstition and something like I can't. I was not able to talk to these guys. I tried, then I kind of gave up. So that's where I am.
Sir, how big is your society?
It's
Let us go
300
into
houses.
step by step.
300
It's
houses.
300 houses or apartments like
Yeah,
there. There must
apartments,
be.
apartments. 300
okay.
flats. Yeah.
Okay, so sir, as per if Tamil Nadu, I'll have to check with the guidelines, but at India level, it's definitely a mandate from the government that no one can stop you from, giving you a charging point. If they are stopping you, the first step, is to write down to the management regarding what is their stand and taking on record what are the reasons for their rejection. The second step would be, to you approach the power discom and let them know that the society is, not allowing due to these and that reason. And the third step would be, to go and give application to register of societies, where you'll have to write that your basic fundamental right is being violated by the society management. So
Hmm.
that is a step. And sir, you're living in Chennai, so I would say
Yeah.
it's absolutely good to go with EVs, because the first thing is now LFPs are quite dynamic, and you can charge it, on DC fast charge. And occasionally, once in a month or two, you can go to a AC nearby AC charger. Maybe you can find a 11 or 22 kilowatt, charger from any of the CP operator, and maybe just give it a slow charge from 80 to 100. That
What's
would be
going
a
to be your
perfectly
daily usage? What's your expected daily uses?
So anyway, he is buying because he is an enthusiast. So there is no problem with daily usage or not.
No, no. If
So
if
he's
if
already
if we
told.
have to plan an EV charging, like how to when to go
Yeah,
public,
yeah,
yeah.
right, right, right.
Ganesh, are you audible? I think there's some network issue. Yeah.
In general, though, if if cost savings are not a factor, then just use the fastest charger you can find.
Yeah, but even with the fastest charger, right? Like just taking out time over a weekend, going to the charger, even if it's just 20
True,
minutes, right?
true, true.
You're going to waste 30
It's a bit
minutes.
of a hassle to go out and about and to charge your vehicle. The best is at home charging. You can charge your car overnight, whether it's a 3.3 kilowatt or 7.2 or 11 kilowatt charger, doesn't matter. But home charging is best suited,
True,
I
true.
think.
80% of my
I
charging has
think
been the 3.3 kilowatt charger at home. 85%. It's
Plus,
the
LFP, right, has got its
we
nuances where you
No,
need to get
but
there
sir,
is
100%.
sir,
no.
I would give you
Please,
a
please
very
hang on, hang
fantastic.
on, hang on.
Guys, one by one.
Sagar, hang on. So there is no worry about LFP. There is no worry about NMC. The if you don't have a 15 ampere or a 7.2 kilowatt charger at your home, and if you are married, that's more worrisome, right? So you have to take care of those things before the society and all those things. पहले तो society ने first society has not allowed you to get the charger. Then you got a EV, and then you are going with excuses that I have to. My office is called. I have मैं कुछ भूल आया हूँ अपना ऑफिस में. I have to just take it out, and then you blame the traffic. So it doesn't make sense, you
नहीं
know.
नहीं
There are
डॉक्टर साहब,
for a
I would
married
be on
guy,
the I would
for
be
a
on the
for a
optimistic side of
married
this
guy,
story.
for a married guy, it would be extremely difficult.
No, no, I that is what I'm saying you. On the contrary, I would be very optimistic, on the optimistic side of this, because you'll get a strong reason to say to your wife that your car needs a DC fast charging, and I would say it in a very candid manner that you can just have a complete a beer, and by that time your car will be 80% charged.
You are absolutely right. That means he is buying a EV with a disclaimer, point one, point two, because some anti EV guy will come on a post and then say, if you don't have home charging at your home, you still got the you still got an EV, then you are blaming your wife for this and that. And you don't know, these people can come anytime, you know.
Doctor
Yeah,
साहब,
and just one
एक
thing. Yeah, sorry.
या
Yeah.
आई वाज सेइंग डॉक्टर साहब, एक स्ट्रांग रीजन मिल जाएगा, वाइफ से आधा घंटा छुटकारा भी मिल जाएगा यार, और उसमें अपन खुद भी चार्ज हो जाएंगे.
वो तो ठीक है आपकी बात. That I
That is a
agree.
huge plus point, I think.
Let Ganesh speak up.
Yeah. So on the strategy of your saying that, like, I'm trying to install a charger, then my association not letting me, how to go to that spot? Because see, for that I need to purchase a EV, or can I just go ahead and just install a chargers to make sure, like, I can buy a EV with them? Because see, I thought about that strategy, but I thought, like, maybe I have to buy an EV and, like, so what would you suggest?
Ganesh, there is one simple question, right? You have 300 apartments. Not
Hmm.
even one apartment has a two-wheeler with electric two-wheeler.
These guys are having it, and like one guy have, like, took the wire from his eighth floor, and he has done it. It's not even safe. I don't want to do it in that way. So these guys are doing without, like, even getting an association permission. There are two EVs are already there.
The two-wheelers.
No, one is a car, one is a two wheeler. So the car, how they have done it is, fortunately, all our meters are in the ground floor. Okay, so I can
Mhm.
actually take a line, and I can, like, give a connection in my parking itself. Mine is a closed parking, but the problem is these guys are not letting me if I go through the channel. Otherwise, I just should do it like others. But I'm in a rented house, so, like, it complicates things for
Oh,
me. That's the problem.
So
that's
simple thing, right? like just to make it very simple, right? Don't get into the thing about buying car and all. Just say I need a 15 amp socket in my car parking, right? I need to do
Mm.
vacuum cleaning. I need to do tire inflation, right? There are a lot of things that even
Yeah,
we
fair
got
enough.
12-volt
I'll do
battery,
that, I
right?
think.
Yeah, just
Mm-hmm.
ask them for permission, right? Don't do it without permission. Ask them for permission. Install a
Mm-hmm.
plug point, right? You're just asking for a plug point from your meter, not from
Yeah.
common meter. If they agree to
Mm.
that, get it installed, and then
Mm.
tomorrow you buy a car and you use the same plug point. You have the permission, right? Don't bring about EV and fire and all of that, right? Just make it very simple.
Yeah, I'll try that. I'll try that. And another thing, want to know any news on this Tesla launch? Like, I heard they are calling some people and giving back the advance which they paid in 2017 or something. Anything there? Like,
In next 3 or 4 months, you will hear something about it.
But are they doing it only in Maharashtra for the beginning, or like it's a pan India this thing?
Maharashtra and Delhi, Mumbai and Delhi are to be first showrooms, and then followed by Bangalore. After that, we
Mm.
don't know yet.
Mm. And incidentally, any of you guys own Tesla shares?
I do.
So how are you doing it? Like through a platform through India, or do you have an account abroad and like doing it through
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Vested, you can now
There
there
is
are a lot of
vested platform.
options.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, even
vested.
I own it. I own it through Stockall.
Okay.
But
Another
on
interesting thing, Ganesh, since you're in Chennai, I think this year, December 31st, is when the road tax exemption is supposed to end. We don't know if
okay.
they're going to renew it or not. Karnataka has
Mm,
not renewed it for all vehicles. They've only done it for below 25 lakhs. So
okay.
if you are considering it, it's a good time, right? We're not sure after 6 months how this will play out.
Mm. No, I saw that BYD seal, but again, ground clearance was the issue. But Tesla, I'm very interested, but I think it'll take some time for it to come to Chennai. Otherwise, I'm thinking I'll buy with a Bharat registration in Mumbai and I'll take it here to Chennai. But like, I just need to
No,
work
that
out
will
once they
incur
launch.
more road tax and all. You'll pay, I think, 8% road tax,
That
and
that
every
won't be issue. You can take delivery from Mumbai and get it registered there. That's not a issue.
no, no, BH registration.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
BH.
okay.
No, I'm talking
Yeah,
state-wise registration. He can do it there.
state
He can
wise.
still get a delivery and register it there.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
means
TN
what?
registration, you can get it done by
Yeah,
taking the car from.
you just have to submit the papers yourself.
Okay, so come again. Like that means what you are saying is I can buy the car when it is launched in Mumbai, and but I can register here it in my RTO in Tamil
Yes,
Nadu RTO. Is
Yes,
it?
Yeah,
yes.
yes.
you can register anywhere.
You can register it
Oh,
anywhere. You just have to get the papers made in that way and submit it yourself at your local RTO.
Or you can get an agent, right? Like there are many agents who can do
yeah,
it.
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay,
So that's not
okay.
it.
Good, good. Thanks.
Okay, Ganesh. Yeah. Any question, just DM us anytime.
Yes.
Okay. Anybody got the new Windsor EV yet? Anybody you know? Sagar and I talked to his friend today. Anyone else? So I think there are two new variants of Windsor EV uh, in 52.9 kilowatt hour version. They seem to be using slightly different cells from those in the Windsor 37.9 kilowatt hour. The battery pack capacity is 52.9, and the battery pack is being assembled by MG itself. So it is an in-house pack assembly. They are claiming range of 449 kilometer in a single charge. Level 2 ADAS on the topmost version. Power
I
tailgate, V2L and
I
V2B.
I learned that is changed to 499 recently.
I think that might be a mistake, typing mistake there, because 449,
No, no,
499.
that screenshot is from a dealer level,
Yes.
promotion.
Yeah, yeah. So this V2V and V2L, it is not present in the base of the higher battery pack. It is on the topmost, and there are three new colors. All that, whatever. Uh, it starts at what 18.1 lakh, I think now after the first 8,000 promotions, and the base one is at 17. What was that?
Eighty-five
17.
thousand.
85,000 less. 85,000
85
less.
thousand less.
85,000 less.
Okay, okay. So I mean, yeah, it's a good price. And from what I talked, I and Sagar talked to the owner. He's very happy with the suspension and the interior and the back seat and all. He didn't feel anything like that he felt in the 38 kilowatt hour version test drive he took.
No, no, I would like to add here, Nikhil. I had a very extensive test drive of that vehicle because we ourselves are planning, one more EV into the family.
Yes.
So the differences I felt is at high speed, in the Windsor EV Pro, the stability and the steering feedback has improved a lot compared to 38 kilowatt version. So that is the biggest change I see because I am at core of my heart, I'm a drive enthusiast. So that is the biggest change. I would, like to stick it on to the Pro.
Okay, awesome.
So, Nikhil, there are couple of people who have taken the delivery today, I think, in that India Electric Vehicle group.
Oh.
Take feedback from them. Second, is there any news on which cells are they using? Pack is being assembled by JSW, but which cells?
So just a second. My friend sent, we did some research and yeah, what was that?
Are they using it from
It's definitely not Goshen cells, if that what you are asking.
For sure not they'll not
Yeah, so
have.
our guess is that they are using cells from a company called Zed Energy, uh,
Okay.
or there is a slight chance that it could be Rept also.
But why not cattle? Means they are
Cost.
site.
Everything is about cost.
Okay.
Yeah, and so these are I think 171 amp hour cells. So we could only find one company in China that publicly has that cells. That's named Zed Energy. And
Oh, okay.
yeah,
They're
so
doing reverse engineering.
and but there are companies that don't publicly mention that cell. So it's we are not 100% completely sure on this right now because the Chinese company will just fit in any cell and they can do it overnight. So it's wooling. My friend has commented, wooling cells are a commodities on wheels. So this wooling JSW Sai group, they just use absolutely any cell you just give them.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. I mean, it's the number of cells and the packs that they have in their product in China is just insane amount of. It needs a different database.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nikhil, on the Windsor Pro EV, today we spoke to the new owner. I would
Yeah.
like to add that he told us that he's been driving from Delhi to Noida daily for his office work, and in 66% of this kind of city and just a little bit of highway use. So he's getting around, in 66% SOC, he has got around the range of 305. So that extrapolation leads us to a range of city range of more than 450 kilometers.
That would be awesome. Means 450 is more than my expectation, I would say.
More than curve.
Yeah, it is. I would say it is more than curve, but it all depends. What style of driving is it mentioned? So
Yeah,
Delhi.
So
he told
he's a
us
first time
from.
he's a first time EV owner. He has just come from ICE, so
Mhm.
definitely not hypermiling it.
No, but even ICE has got different
Yeah,
giving.
yeah, that's true.
But anyway, Delhi, one biggest plus for EV for running in Delhi is the speed limit of 50. Right, that enhances range like anything.
He has been traveling Delhi, Noida, and he says that there's a bit of some little bit of highway there. So mix of
Hmm.
that, he got about 300 kilometers in 66% SOC. So that was quite good to hear.
I'd
Hmm.
counter and I'd say I think Delhi probably gets you the highest average speed, right? I mean, it's faster than Bangalore and Mumbai if you're driving. I can manage 35, 40 average Delhi. In Bangalore, I'll probably average 20.
So that's the reason it is best suited for getting the highest efficiency because you don't get to too many brakes. It is slow running, but it is running at least.
Always
So you
moving
don't
traffic. Yeah.
you don't stand and burn the energy in AC. So you don't go over a speed of 50, but still you are sailing through the roads. So
Yeah.
that kind of driving, is best for getting the highest range.
Yeah, I have managed to get a range of 600 quite a few number of times on airport runs.
Which
The Ionic.
Ionic.
So yeah, Ionic. Like that's the advertised range, which I never expected to get. I always thought 500, 20 maybe, but some runs I have got 600. So I was very surprised that that's possible.
So this is Shashank. Shashank has raised a very good point that nowadays, if these manufacturers claim, according to the non-ARAI, range, so users definitely are getting more range than that, like MG does with 449, or maybe others follow the other cycle apart from ARAI. So we are, even other EV owners I've spoken to for Mahindra EV9, 9e, they are getting pretty good range that way.
I would like to add, I have my bicycle, and it if I drove to Faridabad on a very small, normal speed, 70 to 80 kilometers, without any traffic. I extrapolated a range of around 710 kilometers from my car,
God damn.
and I routinely get 500 plus.
On
But
which EV do you have?
Seal Premium.
Okay, awesome.
The downside of Seal is it gives a very low city average, in my experience. I live in a tier 2 city of Panipat, and the speed here is very slow. There are a lot of bricks, lot of traffic, and in these conditions, it gives me a range of around 400, 420 in these summer months. But initially in winters, I was getting around 480, 450 to 480. On the highway, it gives a supreme range, 500 easy if I'm driving at 110, 120, and 550 when I'm driving at 90 to 100.
I think that's fine if there's a lot of traffic, stop and go, and summer. So you can expect the efficiency to go down in that. So we expect the EVs to give better range in city, but sometimes it is worse than the highway, if depending on the city conditions.
I think it's more about the dynamics of the car also. I think
It is that also BYD is not among the most efficient one that we have. So
I
it
found
could
it
be
to be better efficient than Mahindra XEV9 on the highway. I think that's because of the more availability of
you
power in the motor.
you you have the sedan seal, right? Not sea lion.
Yeah, he said Seal.
Yeah. So I mean, the driving aerodynamic and all of that and XCV9 are just completely different.
On that
Yeah,
note, happy to
Yeah,
report though, I think
that contributes to that contributes to.
I did a long drive recently, 400ish kilometers in sport mode, peak speeds of 120, consistently averaging 80, 90. I still got 450. So I was actually quite impressed with that on sport mode.
Which car? The Steel?
Run the
IML
Ionic,
5.
Sorry, I was not able to hear you. Which car?
Ionic 5.
Ionic 5. Yeah, that's a beautiful car.
Yeah, I was expecting lower, but if I'm getting 450 on sport mode at 120, I think I can get 500 on highways on eco or something. So it's pretty good.
Nikhil, we have one Mr. Piyush K. I don't know whether he's the newest Windsor EV Pro owner. I'm not sure about that. So Piyush, if you are the one, kindly raise your hand so that you can share your experience till now with all of us.
Yes, there's
Yeah,
Piyush
yeah,
K. I'm
Nikhil,
not sure
Nikhil,
if he's
please
the
give
one.
him a speaker right so that he can share with us his experience.
Okay, I know this Piyush. He has been following us for quite some time.
It seems
So
it's opposite.
Piyush.
You are following him.
So Piyush, can you just chip in with your thoughts on the newest member from MG?
Piyush, you are approved for speaker now. Hi.
About Pro because I've only driven it like 550 today. I got it from on last Friday, so it's been only 9 days. Yeah, it's going very good. So I think I drove it from 100 to 33%, and I got around 306, 307 kilometers. And I drive from Delhi to Noida every day. So it's like 37, 38 kilometers one side. So almost 80 kilometers every day. Uh, and it's been very hot here in Delhi, around 43, 44 when I drive. So I'm getting around 460, 470 range. Uh, and I'm driving just like I used to drive ice, in a normal mode. I don't change it because you cannot change in. I don't know what's wrong with this software on Windsor. If you even change the settings, it will keep default back to when you start again. So I don't change that. I start with normal, and the region is the highest, and I like that. I don't have to keep on pressing the brakes. That's the very good part. I'm loving it. So far so good. AC has been pretty good. The power is pretty good. The range is phenomenal. The drive is also good. The suspension is okay because, to be honest, I upgraded from Desire, so I'm not very much into cars and everything. So don't know much about suspension. For me, it's okay. I feel it's smooth. I don't feel any super jumpy drives and all that. So everything's good so far. So yeah, so that's pretty much, yeah, yeah.
Piyush,
And,
one
and
one
I,
one question. Yeah, yeah, please.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so Piyush, I would like to ask your views, on high-speed stability. So if you may have driven it around 100 or more than that, so how
No, no.
confident did you feel on the steering?
I, I think I on 90 it was pretty good. On the first day itself, I got it from Ghaziabad because of the UP subsidy. So when I was driving it back to Delhi, I on the very first day, I think I took it to till 90, 92, and it was very good. I was not feeling it. It was like I was driving 92. It was pretty stable.
Piyush, you're in market. Just
Sorry. I'm in park.
the
Sorry,
back,
yeah, it was a traffic. Yeah, is it better now?
the the background
So
noise is,
very,
yeah.
very unrelated question, Piyush. How many people have told you that it's a Chinese brand? Why have you chosen a Chinese brand over Tata?
See, to be honest, as Sagar know, maybe some of you guys know, I might have texted you. I think I talked to ex-roaders like a year and a half back. I'm looking, yeah. So I was in market to get an EV from last 1.5 years. To be honest, seeing all the issues with Tata, uh, so I was not keen to get into Tata, and then MG was doing very good. I booked the ZS EV initially, then I cancelled it. Then I booked Windsor 38. Again, I cancelled it. I thought the battery is too low, and finally I got this Pro. Even one day before, I saw one of the tweets from Sagar that Z5 is coming, and one day before delivery, I was thinking that I should cancel this one and I should wait till August to get that. Then one of the guys from the Windsor the ZS group told me that the price you're getting a very good value for money product. Then I got it for it. So yeah, everything we are using right now is Chinese. To be honest, I don't think we'll be able to eliminate everything. The phone I'm using is Chinese. The AirPods I'm wearing right now maybe manufactured by Apple, but it's again uh, getting made in China. So I'm not very into these things because we might not be able to get rid of Chinese at all.
I mean, as a consumer, you should go for the best product
Yeah,
available.
I totally agree.
That's up to Indian companies to step up their
I
product.
totally agree. Yeah.
Is there any
So
news on? I mean, there is news, but anything else that you guys could add on the availability of seven-seater EVs? Family would like an EV, but they want a seven-seater. They've got a Fortuner. They want to remain with a seven-seater. And
I think there is availability of Emax 7 from
just
Byte.
one.
It's a 6 10 7 seat available.
Yeah. The EMAX is the only one I've been able to find that's worth considering.
Kia is
yeah,
also entering with MP9, I guess. I'm not sure of the name, but it's soon to be launched.
MG9 is coming. Yes,
MG9, yeah,
MG9.
MG9, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be up here in few months.
All right.
No, no,
I think they're
the
planning a launch
pre-bookings
in
are
a month
already
maximum.
the pre-bookings
Things
have
have already been started. Yeah.
already been started. And Shashank, the price reveal would definitely be, in the mid of next month. So
Okay.
But
the
it's
expected
expected
the
to be
expected
priced
price
at a
is
higher
around
side of around
70
60,
70 lakhs, 70 lakhs,
Okay.
70
That's
lakhs.
significantly more
70
than the
lakhs. Yeah.
Is there
I
is
think
the
this
seven seater
And
coming
would
in the
be
modular range?
actually the problem with the
it's Kia Carens and seven seater.
no, no,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
will
it's
just
coming in
add
seven,
Yeah.
on.
seven.
I think in a
I think the
podcast of
Karen's
some
EV is gonna come, but that also would be in a lower 20 lakh range. In the We have very few cars in the 40 to 50 lakh range, even in ICE.
Right. Okay.
डॉक्टर साहब आप कुछ कह रहे थे डॉक्टर साहब
Karen's I think Karen's would be I think one of the speaker just pointed that Karen's Clavis जो Kilvish है उसका नाम हमने रख दिया Kilvish तो Kilvish EV आएगी so it would be around it would be below 20 I think probably 42 kilowatt hour pack the higher one would be
but
expensive but if you
can
see the price of Calvis Karen's it is I think the top model is 21 point something ex showroom so we can expect that this Koreans will not mess up the pricing as they have done with Creta.
नो बट डॉक्टर साहब आपने कैलविस कैलविस इवन इफ यू से कैलविस सिस्टम नहीं फटेगा उससे कुछ
No, I got your point. And another thing is with Cyberster and M9, I think they are delaying because of some taxation and some taxation stuff. That is why they are being delayed. Otherwise, they would have launched both the vehicles till late. उसमें कुछ taxation का चक्कर है तो ये delay कर रहे हैं.
I wanted to ask one thing. When I was in the market for buying Seal, uh, Bide was offering the 15% cashback on in Haryana, but Kia and Hyundai both are not offering that kind of 15% cashback. The subsidy in Haryana, they were not offering that. So I'm not sure what the reason behind that was because all these cars are in the same bracket, but only Seal
No,
was having
so
that.
it is not like they were offering. They have nothing to do with that 15%. That was completely government thing. What I would say is BYD was misleading people that quota was already over, and they were kind
Yes.
of luring people that okay, you will get 15% subsidy and all, but that
I
was
got mine. Yeah,
exhausted long time.
I got mine.
Haryana subsidy structure was among the
It
worst
was for the
in
first
that
thousand
I
cars
saw.
That
only,
was
and
that was
Bide was
that was for government big officials mainly.
yeah, yeah. That I understand, but see, Bide was all the showrooms of Bide, be it Chandigarh, even Delhi and Gurgaon.
Hmm.
I got my car from Delhi. It was built from Gurgaon,
Okay.
but I got my subsidy just recently. I think a month back,
No, but
and
when did you purchase and how much did you get?
six 6 lakh 82,000 was the subsidy amount
Okay.
on the ex showroom price 45.5,
When did you purchase?
and I purchased it in August and got the subsidy. The My application was approved in February this year.
Okay. So August 24, right?
Right,
Yeah. So that's what
right.
August 24 is almost 8 to 10 months back. So they were queuing up all those 1,000 people, and slowly they are reimbursing. But that thousand amount had been finished a long ago. So probably around October November it is finished.
Yeah, it was finished in November. I got to know about it. I had to call, make lot many calls regarding the
But
subsidy.
but even
I
after
called.
even after November, BYD used to keep luring people saying that okay, 15% subsidy is there.
Yeah, but I was surprised. I asked specifically about the subsidy to the guy from Gurgaon. I was into Kia EV, uh, Kia also, but they outright refused that you won't get the subsidy. They don't. They didn't say that they don't know about it. They should have known. Tata was very helpful regarding EV subsidy when it was available for their models. So Kia outright refused कि भाई आपके पास तो मिलेगी ही नहीं, हमारी व्हीकल पे है ही नहीं.
That could be dealer knowledge issue, I think.
I think the dealer with the who has a car that is 60 lakh worth and he's offering discount of 15 lakhs on it, he should be aware of it. There's so many huge discounts on EV6. I thought कि भाई seal की जगह वही ले लेनी चाहिए थी फिर, but uh, I'm very happy with my decision.
Were you getting the EV6 for 45?
Yeah, many people
I
have
was
got it.
getting it for 52.
No, between 45 to 50, many have got it.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Even even
EV6,
even with the launch of the new EV6, the older model is available for around 20 lakh discount. There was one piece red color in available in Gurgaon. It was offering at around, I think, on road 52 lakhs.
Oh, damn.
So I think it was a quite a good deal because it was a top model for all wheel drive variant.
Pretty interesting. I remember not taking the EV6, one, because I like the aesthetics of the Ionic more, but second, because I didn't want to pay 20L to the government for nothing. They're essentially very similar cars.
I think it's essentially the same motor and the same car. The rear wheel drive of Ioniq 5 and EV6 are pretty
They're
much
very
the
similar
same.
cars. So I was like, if you're taking the same car, I wouldn't want to pay the government. I'd rather pay the manufacturer, and the 20 difference didn't make sense.
Right, absolutely, absolutely. But when I saw that you can get the same car at the same price, all-wheel drive at 52 lakhs, I thought, okay, it can be
Yeah.
done. I could stretch up my budget a bit, but when he refused that the subsidy won't be available at all, मैंने कहा, that is
I
another
think,
6-7 lakhs that
I
I am
think, brother,
paying
it,
out of
it,
the
it
pocket.
could be some price bracket. I think 50 lakhs, I think above 50 lakhs, it may not be there. I think there should be a cap. Hyundai wise,
The price limit is 70 lakhs.
70.
The bracket
Okay,
is
okay.
40 to 70
Okay,
lakhs.
okay, 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 okay.
So it was not about that. Even Mercedes is offering that discount, yeah,
Got it, got it, got it.
later on, but they refused.
Anyways, it's their bad luck. No problem.
So guys, if you have a static app, can you just search for Asli Pappu Dhaba, and it is a Tata EV labeled charger on the iPhone and Android? Can you see what kilowatt it is showing?
Asli Pappu Dabba, which location?
It's near, I
Just
think,
search that on static app.
it's
Near
in
Behroud.
on the
Behroud.
Jaipur highway.
Yeah, Delhi Jaipur highway.
Yeah, it's not the static one doesn't work there. I guess. I don't know. There is a Geo BP charger there.
No, so guys, the
I have
background
charged
noise.
at that location.
If
That's
you
why I
can.
remember. There is a Geo BP charger there. There was not a static
It
charger
is
when I
it it
went there
it,
last year.
it is in Behror, Delhi, on the Jaipur Delhi highway, Behror. So, Tata has started launching these co-branded, or I would say rebranded, EV chargers. They have launched five with static and five with charge on. With Tata Power and Geon charging, they would be in coming months. So what they are doing is they are just repainting it and rebranding it as static and Tata charge on and Tata. And yeah, so the Tata EV owners will get a 25% or about 5 rupees per kilowatt hour discount. You have to get your vehicle registered on their respective apps. Uh, they should work on Tata app as well, but the software is not yet ready. And yeah, it's good that CPOs are getting some money and Tata owners are getting some discount. So it's a win for the EV owners from both sides.
Yeah, that's a fantastic charger. I would say I had referred somebody to charge it there. He was super happy. One is 120 kilowatt charger, and another one is 240 kilowatt charger. And as a Tata user, I am
Um,
getting lesser rates there. I think some 15 rupees. It what is what it is.
yeah, you are talking about the Asli Pappu Dhaba?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So yeah, Tata is not specifically installing the charger; they are just rebranding them. So it could be any 60 kilowatt or 120, and one is I think a 400
240.
kilowatt charging station by ChargeOn, Camp Power
Hmm.
hardware, five guns, 160 kilowatt each capable. But the way Tata rebranded, marketed as mega chargers, 120 kilowatt, while many of these are not 120 kilowatt, they are just 260 kilowatt chargers.
No, the one which
So
is 240 kilowatt is 120 into 2 basically.
can you send me the screenshot of this Asli Papu Dhaba one?
The, the, the
On the WhatsApp.
charger or
Lida
the
is
charging
doing.
session you want?
The charger,
Charger I
charger.
can share, yeah.
Yeah. And if you have Android or iPhone,
I have Android.
so someone with iPhone, please do that also.
So, is there any change you are expecting in iPhone and Android?
So that was the issue that I'm trying to confirm for
Okay,
multiple
so
users.
we can Rakesh ji have I think you have got Android, I have got iPhone. We can just mix match and see.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
can tell
just
the exact location, you have to search
It is
for
right
charger sir.
before Behror.
Behror. How
Yeah.
you spell?
BEHROR.
just
Okay, BHR or got it. Basically, what Tata has done is like when you start to prepare for an exam, you just mark the very easy topics first. So Tata has just rebranded and marked the easy topics. Now they will start to install the other chargers.
No, I would,
So
I
we
would, I
I'm
would
not sure if
say
they
that
will do that.
see, they have not retained the same hardware which was there. They have
yeah,
bought
and
those
moreover,
locations basically. I would say it that way, and then they have obviously
it's
financed the charges
fair
which are
enough.
put in there.
Not a problem. I think it's fair enough to say them because we know Tata for these things. So we
Yeah,
have to accept that, na. So they're doing it their way. So it's okay.
I mean, as long as chargers work
yeah,
flawlessly, I'm fine with
that's
anything.
the intention.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
they are managed and maintained by Static. So we hope that they'll be equally good.
Yeah, I mean, the Tata is just paying them for their name
Right.
and the discount. Yeah, everything else is CPU managed.
Yep.
Mahindra might do something similar.
So I sent one Mahindra XCV9 user only over there, but I
Any
didn't check.
questions from the audience? You can just raise your hand or reply to this post. Sagar, any topic we left behind or anything that happened that needs to be discussed?
Nikhil, I posted the screenshot of the Bear charger in this Spaces, post. So it's 120 plus 240. That is what they are showing on the static app.
Okay.
Showing on the you have got Android or iPhone?
Here's iPhone, I think.
iPhone.
Yeah, 120, 240. Okay, thanks.
My
A
it's
big issue with
hold
this.
on.
This is yeah.
In my it is showing 6060. Highway King Bear or DC charger. Highway King Bear or
Sagar, can you just share the link in our WhatsApp group? Just share the link.
yeah.
No, it is not Highway King. डॉक्टर साहब आप गलत देख रहे हो असली पप्पू देखिए
Asli Papu,
because it is by
it is
it is
before
by
Highway
Tata
King.
co-branding.
It is
It
before
is by
Highway
Tata
King.
co-branding.
Guys, just share the link in our EV Geeks group. Just share
Yes,
that.
you can share the link. Yeah, right.
I have a big issue with this so-called 240 kilowatt chargers because the way they are doing 240 kilowatt is 250 amp and into 1000 volts. So, or 240 into 1000 volts. Because and the amp limit on 240 250 on this like 240 kilowatt charge is just a bit too low. And what's absolutely ridiculous is that some of these are locked to 200 amps. I think we saw Adani one as well as static one. So okay, 250 gun is like standard. Okay, but there's some of these are locked to 200 amps, and that's absolutely wrong. So I don't know why 300 amp should be the minimum if you are putting a such high amp power charger because it's not covering. Seriously, no car is taking 1000 volts, and many of these our cars are on the 400-volt architecture. Yes, Kia EV6 Ioniq 5 they can do better, but
Nikhil,
ampere
I would like to add, in this particular context. Today, I spoke with one of the executives of a very renowned CPU operator in India. And
Mhm.
I exactly put them this question, that your guns are not capable for 400 volt architecture cars. So they
Yeah.
have assured me that they are upgrading all the guns slowly on national highways with minimum 250 amp cable.
That CPO is do upgrading it, but like so Glida has cam power hardware, but they are they have the 200 ampere guns only. So that's I'm like not a good strategy. Like 200 ampere gun, cam power, you have such a good hardware. So Xeon is doing dynamic. They are doing 200 amp gun and 300 amp gun, so covering all the bases with their six guns on the station that they have. Charge zone also, I think 250 or 300 amp, not sure exactly. And absolutely ridiculous is that Hyundai one, 150 kilowatt charger and 200 ampere gun restriction. So your 400 volt cars only take 80 to 90 kilowatt. Whoever chose that hardware at Hyundai, it shouldn't be in the EV industry, frankly.
I think they must have chosen because of their 800 voltage architecture cars.
Even that won't get the full because even Ionic 5 needs
Yes,
more
yes,
than
you're
200
right.
ampere.
Right, 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 right.
So I don't know who was the leader of the hardware acquisition,
I'm not sure
but
I
that
understand
was.
800-volt one not get it. I mean, could you explain like I'm five?
Shashank, if you
Uh,
can raise your voice, yes, yes.
Sorry, what?
If you can just
The
raise your
background noise.
volume.
Can
Yeah,
you
you
yeah.
could
Oh
raise
yeah,
your volume. We
sorry,
didn't,
I
was
was
weren't
saying,
able to.
I was saying I didn't understand why 800 volts also would not let the Ionic charge at 350. I mean, I didn't understand the
I think
concept.
Shashank has charged at the Hyundai 151. If you can share the experience, please.
That was great. I mean, I loved it.
what was the peak you got?
I got 144, 135 one time and 144 something the other time. I've charged twice.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, there's this. So okay, just in general, you need to multiply ampere by voltage, then you get the your kilowatt. So what many of the chargers in India have, they have the maximum of the voltage rating. So fine, 250 to 1000 amp voltage range, but on the ampere side, they are bit less, 200 amp, 150 amp, or 250 amp. At the 250 amp is the best majority that you would get. Some camp power or high power 360 kilowatt that charge on has, they might have higher 500 liquid cooled at two locations. But so let's say on the 150 kilowatt one, uh, we charged them Mahindra XEV front charge it, and you will only get a peak of 89 or 90 kilowatt. That's so you are just not even using your power. And some we saw Adani charger 240
I
kilowatt, but it was
I was that
restricted to 200 ampere. So if let's say your Ioniq 5 is at 700 volt at that particular 750 volt, and if it is 200 amp, so it is only getting 150 kilowatt. So 240 kilowatt charger, not even delivering full
Nikhil.
potential. So that's a
You are
waste.
saving me. Nikhil, you are saving me. But I was that unfortunate friend with Mahindra 9e on a Hyundai 150 charger.
You and a couple more we have seen after that also.
So what we can infer is three things. First of all, once we called out Mahindra people on the charging on the charger issue, like they were bundling the charger with the package of the car, and we had lot of tweets going on, we had lot of messages going on. They backed out, and good for the customer, right? Second thing is the brochure which Mahindra
So
published.
software, software
Yeah, so,
part.
so initially they were like 20 to 80% in this
No,
much
no, no.
minutes.
There was one issue that they claimed that only 1 year of software are free. After
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
they will
that
be
that, that
paid.
was- yeah, yeah. And second was this software
So
one, and warranty one. They changed the warranty clauses for the what do you say, for the
so
individual buyer and the corporate buyer, and
yeah.
then they updated the charging speeds and they updated the gun 400 ampere. So
I
now
don't
the
know. I mean, I
brochure.
want to fault Mahindra on that because during the launch they did show that 400 ampere is the requirement.
Yeah, no, no, no.
So
What I'm trying to say is that Mahindra is really doing like
yeah, I
uh,
mean they are reading our tweets.
they are coming from
No,
that
no.
era when they published 39 kilowatt for XUV 400, the battery capacity. They are coming from that era. That's
And
a
and
welcome
and not
Yeah,
news.
only Doctor Saab, I would like to give a message to every one of us who are a EV owner. Every OEM and every CPO is listening to our words. So I would say, please become more vocal, and let these people come on track with all the shady work they might be trying
Is,
to do.
is Bide also there? I had a huge problem there. The Bide app is still not working in India.
yeah,
I
they
mean, getting a 50
in
lakh car and I can't
They
even
have
use the
started. They
app
have
for anything.
started. BYD has
It's not.
started
It's
with the
not
app.
link. It's not linking with the car. The app is available, but it's not linking with my car.
you
The
know
showroom is. The
to
showroom
be
guys don't
frank,
know anything about it.
India is not a priority for BYD. They are just here for the sake of being here, just there because they can be here. That our market doesn't have much
That
competition.
I understand. But
Yeah,
they are now launching more and more models. I think until unless they launch the budget models here, which I don't think their priority is that.
Nikhil,
yeah.
But
no. I would like to point out, Nikhil, you are getting it wrong. What their overall, global architecture for software and data privacy is based in China. So the main reason for not, linking all this and getting slow onboarding with all this process is the local legal regulation that they need
See,
to follow.
Sagar, they have been here for years. I don't think it should take that much time.
no, the thing is, Indian government told them that they have to set up their data centers in India. The data should not go to China
And
because
that is the
China
main
has
reason.
a habit of spying. That's
Yeah, I
why
mean,
Huawei lost their
That
partnership with
that
Airtel
is
regarding
where
routers.
you would really have done a anti-national thing to buy a BYD. That is the point. So no giving you connected car features. You have to live with it. You have to get a security guard with your car. We don't
I think
care.
I have to live with it. But see, now Mahindra is even getting their cells from Bide. So I don't know how Mahindra is going to stop China from snooping in on them.
So it's
so yeah,
basically it's like you can buy rice from China. You can't have the non-veg and other stuff, which have got good proteins. You can have those little vitamins, and you can get the starch and
And
carbohydrate.
I think MG is also from China, but there's no restriction on that because they partnered well in India. They partnered with
And they've
JSW.
partnered with JSW, and JSW is with the government. So,
Yeah.
ठीक है.
तो
Look,
and
गवर्नमेंट करे तो करे हम कोई
regarding
प्राइवेट ना
Mahindra,
करे.
because Mahindra is just getting
Guys,
the
guys,
cells, not the
guys,
software.
with yeah, with regards to BYD in India, you'll soon get a Sheen moment for BYD in India.
There can be. I knew the risk of it, but
no,
I
no,
don't
no.
think.
So that's another thing. Look, we have to Nikhil always points that you have to see which is the best deal for you, right?
Yeah.
So at that time you got to be ready. Nothing. No, we are just joking. So don't have to be get serious about it. Seriously. So
No, no,
Mahindra is not
I
getting
don't.
called.
so
Don't worry.
we
I'm
all
not taking
we
anything
I
serious.
we
independently
personally
I don't.
believe that I personally believe that India and China has got a long border. We should have good relations with that country, and we should take whatever they can give us, and we can
Yeah,
give them
but
whatever they can
see, we
take
have
from
to be
us.
practical. They are very much advanced than us, and we have to learn as fast as we can. We
Yeah,
have to come
the
in
thing is,
competition with that, and we are very far behind.
you're absolutely. But the thing is that currently the geopolitics and those things they're not favorable with these things, so we can't
I
help it.
don't think they will ever improve because China has a habit of grabbing land. It's nothing more for them.
Uh,
China has doubled its area since 1947. They will try to keep doing that as far
And
as they can.
let's
if you ask,
let's not
just
get into
not
that deep.
deviating,
Ye-
not
I
deviating,
agree.
but I certainly feel at that area, you and me require oxygen cylinders, which age we are in. So I don't know what is to fight for there. There is no flora, there is no fauna, there is lack of oxygen. What do you have to do in those areas?
No, Doctor
So
Saab, flora fauna छोड़ दो. Just invest your money in electric cars or just save your money. बनिया बनो यार. EV, so वही है बस और कुछ नहीं.
I actually interpreted your Shane comment to mean the other thing, that a company like Reliance will come and localize and then it'll work it out.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And moreover, the thing is, Nikhil is absolutely right. We keep on pointing that BYD is not BYD wasn't a new identity in India. They were before the electric shift came
Yeah,
in the
they
world.
entered in 2008.
Yeah, so they were sedate. Like well, I always say that BYD is as patriotic as Elon is patriotic for his country. So they are doing their way. We can't just say it, and it is what it is now. What
I
we can
wouldn't be
say.
concerned though.
And Dr. Saab, they just have entered into passenger segment. So it doesn't matter they came in 2008, but now the nature of business has changed to passenger vehicles. So now what they do is what matters. It doesn't matter when they entered or what commercial buses or whatever supply they are doing from Electra. It doesn't matter the partnership, whatever that is. But what matters now is now they have entered into PV segment. So now they are slowly onboarding all the app and every integration is taking place.
I am thinking that they will soon launch the app, but the problem is the showroom guys don't know anything about it.
I mean, BYD management in India doesn't know anything about most of the things. They are just
Yeah,
a placeholder right now.
because
See,
I
so
emailed them about some queries, but I didn't get any response from BYD.
you want.
BYD is like, Thakur of Sholay right now.
Absolutely right. So you're absolutely right. So it is what it is. But
Chalo,
yes, we are always
guys,
hopeful
let's
that.
let's move on from BYD to Tata now for a
Oh
bit.
my God. Okay.
So, what do you think about whatever Tata is doing and why their sales are still not working and they are still not dropping the price?
The problem with Tata, I
Sahib,
think,
can you mute yourself, please? Just
sure,
background
sure.
noises. Yeah. So, I mean, the Tata strategy, I'm not sure what exactly they and how they are planning. Recently their comment was they plan 50% market share in long term. Uh, like, yeah, please. But how exactly are you planning to do that? And I mean, they definitely have the margin. They can reduce the prices a lot, but for some reason, Tata is like, no, we are fine with whatever we have right now. Then we have Harrier EV launch coming up. Then Safari.
Tata can gain 50% market share only when 50% of their higher management is replaced.
Yeah, maybe. I think even product wise, their strategies are like Tiago 19 kilowatt hour. Why is it on market? Just to remove it. Tiago 24 only. Update it with the prismatic cells, maybe. Punch 25 is useless. Remove it. Just punch 35 or maybe update it to 40 with the newer cells. Nexon 45 is best or maybe do 50. They are planning a Nexon 55 also, and I'm like, you have a Curve 55. Do not just mess up the products like these, because the price range are just not, the difference is not high that you can have like that. And the curve, I think they should update to 60 or 65, and the Harrier it's coming with 75, and I think 60 also. Because the Tata variants and the planning is just a bit too messy. But yeah, I don't know whatever they are.
20 anything under 20-25 kilowatts shouldn't exist. That's a golf cart.
I mean, for Tiago, it's fine. 24 kilowatt hour is fine. But the 19 one shouldn't exist. I don't know if anyone is even buying it or why would you even buy it.
I mean, it only
Uh,
exists as fodder for anti-EV people.
yeah, you just to say that Tiago starts at this. Same with the Punch 25. Absolutely makes no sense. I don't know anyone who bought it. People have bought it, but I don't know anyone. Same with Curve 45. Why would you have it? And
I
Curve
think
40, Curve
the
45 has
problem.
different cells and pack maker. Nexon 45, same battery size, has different cell and different pack maker. So this absolute strategy, whoever the MBA is planning there, not good. Because we know that many of these decisions are not made by, even product decisions are not made by engineers. They are made by the management guys. So that's the issue with this legacy automobiles.
Yeah,
So
ideally,
surprisingly, I was expecting that May they may not do better, but still, like we are on 25th May, their numbers are still, they are still the leader in terms of numbers.
They will
Either
remain the leader
I thought
because of
they
the
will
that
sheer
remain.
number of the
I I wish to
models
know
they have.
how much percent of sales of Tata right now are to the fleet guys. I don't have a breakdown. There's no breakdown in Vahan also. Because
yeah,
MG,
Except the
that's a miss.
except the Tigor EV, I don't think so. Many other buy any fleet owners don't buy Tata EVs. They go for Byte E6. They
No,
used to.
it is not. It is not about they don't buy. Tata is not open for commercial sale of other cars than Tigor EV. Though there are few Nexons found, but those are under special agreement or arrangement, I would say. But MG is selling all their models in commercial openly. There is no restriction in MG.
and Citron is selling like 130, 150 per month. I think most of them are to
Brother,
the fleet one.
there was an
Nikhil,
article in April about Tata. I think their sales to fleets had dropped. They were doing 25K a year and they dropped to 2K in 2024. So that's the latest piece of data we'd have as of April.
Yeah. I mean, Tata needs to improve. They need a top to down improvement in their management, in their product planning, and all everything.
But the numbers in May are really, very
You know,
low comparing. April.
Tata Nexon 45 is not a bad product. I think it's one of the most value for money one on the market right now. Curve is a good one. The price is a bit high, I would say. Uh, but Tata can do better. I mean, they can absolutely do better. Uh, just need some focus on the product and the bit more focus on the software because some issues are still persistent from day one. So
They will remain.
I mean, it's ridiculous to hear about that again and again. And then there are these dealerships who absolutely mess up at some places. So yeah.
I think
Watch this.
Tata actually, Tata should have launched Tata Curve only with ICE. They shouldn't have got it to EV, right? They have messed it up. Now they will come with Sierra 60 kilowatt hour, and then again you will have a 60 kilowatt hour Curve, 60 kilowatt hour Harrier. It confuses people.
That's what
So
I'm saying. You
there
shouldn't
should
put
have
the
been no
same,
confusion.
yeah, you shouldn't put same
It
battery
should have
pack
been
in like,
it should have been pretty simple. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. These are your models. Simple. Why are you keeping it complex? Either if you have to launch something, you launch it as a performance vehicle. You launch a Tata Altroz performance hot hatch EV. That is a correct strategy. You could have just got a curve ice. It would have done it would have done whatever numbers it would have done.
I mean,
So
if a Curve and Nexon
No,
are to share the same
Doctor Saab,
battery
they
pack,
are using all this, mixed up battery packs because 30, 60, and 90 is being used elsewhere from the higher management.
yeah, so it should have been pretty simple. 30, then you should have 40, then you should have 50, then 60, then 70. 70 goes to Harrier, 60 goes to Sierra, this 51 or 40 goes to Nexon, 30 goes to the Punch.
no, I mean
Like that. No,
Nexon and Curve should share the same battery packs, but then the price difference shouldn't be much, just a bit more for the space they are offering in the back.
now they will have Sierra with 60 kilowatt hour battery pack, and you have 55 curve. I don't know what they are trying to do.
And the Nexon is also being planned with 55. I'm not sure how from where they are going to sacrifice the
Their
space in the
their
55.
their thinking is कि जिस मॉडल में जिस बैटरी पैक बंदे को चाहिए दे दो.
No, no, they are stuck. They
That
are stuck so oddly.
pricing should reflect that also, no?
Tata is right now just winging it.
Like
Yes, you're right.
Model 3 and Model Y share the same battery pack and motor, but they have different utility and different use.
Yeah,
So it
same.
could.
But that message has to trickle down to the customer. In our place, you usually say people usually are asking for the range. Like what people are doing is they're comparing Windsor Pro with XV400. Then they say Windsor Pro is giving me 400 range and XCV is also 400 range. I should buy a Windsor Pro because it's a better car and because it's
Yeah.
saving me money. These kind of things really confuse the customers who are pretty new to the this EV spectrum, right? They don't know about the charging speeds, AC and DC ones. So it confuses.
Speaking of
Nexon
saving money, I
45,
think I
Nexon
think the
45 should do a 1500 to 2000 unit easily. It's such a good product. 350
Yeah.
kilometer of real world range, good 1.2C charging. What more do you want?
I mean, each of Tata products should be doing at least 2 to 3K. Punch should be doing 2K at least. Curve should be doing 1.5K at least. Tiago should be doing, the Tata alone should be at 10,000 per month.
There is also a problem of same variant in electric and ICE vehicles. So it gives a problem of comparing. Ki, okay, EV should
Exactly.
not be that expensive. They should have specific
Right,
EV
right.
models only.
And Tata is, and Saib, you're absolutely right. Tata is on record that people who have come when they launched Nexon EV, their Nexon I sale went up because people then started to compare. This is 18 lakhs. This is 15. Oh, I should get a diesel or a petrol one. So you are absolutely right. The
I don't think brands will advertise it this way, but I think people EV
no,
support.
this is officially from Tata that
I mean,
that we have seen
even if
this happening.
brands don't advertise, we have these so-called YouTube influencers everywhere who would do that for them.
No, today in today's world, you buy a new car, you start a YouTube channel, you come over it. This is what people think.
Yeah.
No, no, and we should discuss this, Dr. Saab, because these people who are fame savvy, they are actually doing a very bad marketing for EVs because
Absolutely
they
right.
themselves are not having, enough knowledge, and they are not following the proper practices of, driving an EV. And just for getting the negative publicity, they are, doing all kinds of artificial things.
I have already seen couple of video like B6 मेरे 30 लाख बर्बाद, ये मेरे उतने लाख बर्बाद. Like, अभी तो लिए भाई तूने.
सही बात है.
I think the best argument for EVs when in terms of cost savings is you're getting more car for the money you pay. You get away with road
Exactly.
tax. Yeah,
I mean,
any
it's
car.
ridiculous to compare a 15 lakh EV and 15 lakh highs. Your EV is much more better than, even a 20 lakh highs
People,
maybe.
I say that यार समझे नहीं. Look, this EV and anti-EV goes a long time. Like if someone is not willing to accept this tech, someone believes that EVs are a big scam. Okay, go with it. EVs are a scam. Let's let's do it in such a way. Okay, brother, EV is a scam. Okay, EV are this thing, that thing. Okay, go away. जाओ भाई आप. ठीक है.
Yeah.
Once you have why the burden is on the EV owner to explain what is an ARA range, whether charges are available or not, whether this A thing is there or a B thing is there. You have to ask the question to the right person. Why where there isn't a low cost EV? Or you ask the manufacturer why you're asking the owner. Like if I'm on the road, there is a pothole. You will ask the driver why you're driving over the car, why you're driving over a pothole car, but you can't drive it because there is a pothole. You have to ask the contractor or the government. You ask the right stakeholder, not the owner. What the owner has to do about it? Well, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, ICE owner expect EV people to, just to give a 10-page letter explaining their
No, no,
purchase.
this is simple. Okay, you don't agree with the ecosystem, don't buy it. Don't bother it. Whether I'm
The
spending 50
problem
minutes,
comes
whether
then they will bash your intelligence that you are a foolish person. You don't have any sense of money, that you are buying an EV, which is a
yes,
piece of junk.
no problem. They can ridicule us. They can do it. The
I,
thing
I
is,
don't I don't mind that.
List.
I don't mind that they are bashing us because it's just words on the internet. It doesn't mean anything. But
and
it
so
just the problem is it ridicules the potential buyer that's gonna buy one. Then don't want to be get ridiculed.
exactly.
That's the only
So
problem.
so
No,
so
no, no, no.
what I
What I'll tell you, Dr. Sab, I would like to add, it is the need of the hour that EV users come out and put it out to the world with their experience, good experiences as well as bad experience. But I am sure that the driving experience of EV will outshine any negative,
No,
and
Sagar,
we
we don't
as
have to do. So you are right on that. I mean, it's totally fine that you think that EVs are the biggest scam across the world, and a person will not own an EV the entire lifespan enough. You don't like this powertrain, no problems at all. Please do remember, we are not forcing them to buy an electric car,
Exactly.
nor the
Yeah.
salesman is
no.
asking them.
I'm not saying we force
No.
anyone
So,
at
so the
all.
thing is,
What
so
I'm
let
saying
me
is
finish.
just bring out, be vocal.
So
Right, right, right.
that is another thing. We have to be vocal, but to keep disputing on proven facts of EV technology, they come again and again. Fire आ गया जी, range आ गई जी, फलाना हो गया, ये नहीं हुआ. Well, life has more meaning to it, brother. मतलब plus there are more issues to ponder over. Why are you after us between an anti and EV and anti-EV?
Here's how I see it. I think it's safe to assume that every car owner, there's no car owner who's happy with the tax component on the car that they buy, right? No one.
Yeah.
So a good example is, let's say, Fortuner. It's priced pre GST, not ex showroom. Pre GST is 25, GST of 12, and then on road and then taxes and stuff. Milake, it becomes 45, 46. You're buying a 25L car for 45, and the ratio is similar for most cars: 20L car for 40, 15L car for 30. When you're buying an EV, you're only paying 5%, and
Yeah.
lucky with the right state, you're not paying any road tax. You're getting more car for the rupee that you give, and
And Shashank, the most important thing is whether the EV sales are 2%, 3%. What Shashank and Parvez have to do with it? Nothing.
yeah.
Whether they will remain relevant or not relevant, matlab, these answers are not us to ask, us to answer. We don't have to answer it. Like what will happen to this, we can only share our real time experience so that the fence sisters can have the right message. As Sagar pointed, we have to be vocal
Yes.
about all those things. That is the
Exactly.
that is the only thing we can do. And to be honest, the real time experience what we are getting, and we are sharing it point blank. If the charger is not working, we are reporting. If our range is dropping in AC or winters, we are reporting it. And this is a sector which just came in 2020 in India. This is 2025. 2.5 साल हमारा COVID का आ गया. It's 2.5 years only, and you don't have Hyundai and Maruti coming in full fledged into this sector, and you are writing obituaries against this powertrain. I just fail to understand this. So these people are troll worthy basically. So Sagar is absolutely right. We have to be vocal. We have to point everything. The thing is that they are not able to accept that people are driving these cars as primary vehicles. Like there
Oh,
is no
Yeah,
problem.
sure.
that's another.
Got my car. I think it completed 2 years last week, and the first five questions I got were, "What did you upgrade from? Would you go back to ICE?" And I'm like, "I've never got an ICE car in my life. What is
Yeah,
the assumption that I changed and experimented?"
Shashank, I saw a LinkedIn post which claimed that 51% of EV owner in India want to go back to ICE. I was like, I could call more EV owner than you have in your survey.
Yeah, I saw that one. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how you are doing EV survey, I can do it in like 1 hour. So the industry, the media,
I
and
have
this
all the
influencer,
I have all
yeah.
the time to like make a second survey, counter survey, and then give it back. We should then send it to media houses with a little more people.
and we should
Yeah.
be proudly
No,
saying
see.
that as a EV owner, we are well qualified to answer any damn question which pertains to our experience related to the EV, not relating to the whether this charger is working or not working, whether there would be a cheap EV in the future, whether this will happen, that will happen.
I
Those
mean,
kind of questions are not in our domain.
I try to answer to them by my best of knowledge and ability, but like some will say, reduce the taxes on ICE. Like, who am I to do that? I can just say that taxes on EV should be this and that, but ICE
We can
taxes are
only
ICE
share,
taxes.
yeah, we can only share our experience.
Yeah.
We can't vouch we jab tak, what will happen when GST will increase, what will happen when RTO will increase. भाई increase होगा तो देखा जाएगा भाई. हमें क्या करना?
No, Dr. Saab, हम कितने लोग vocal? How many of us are just vocal? That is what I'm saying. You are also on many groups. I am also on many groups. That is what I'm saying. We should come as united and be vocal about our experiences with EV. That is what the advantage is being taken off by the ICE lobby, well paid by the big corporates. That we are not speaking up, and that space is taken up by for defaming the EVs. That is why I'm truly motivating everyone to come out and just share your
And
experiences. Be vocal,
then
whether
there's
positive or negative.
There's some interview recently by some Toyota guy who has been claiming something about hybrid. I didn't hear it, I just saw it. So I need to. I think it's going to be the usual bullshit about
No, no,
hybrid.
Nikhil, we don't have to say. We say that yes, bring hybrids, bring a hybrid under 12 lakh.
लाओ
Period.
तो किसने मना
Not
किया
coming. आएगी वो
है
hybrid. That would be a series hybrid. We do जुगाड़ hybrid. Three cylinder hybrid is coming in Grand Vitara and Hyrider, which is around about 18 to 19 lakh. And that after 90 kilometers, whosoever is in this space can just go and test drive a Grand Vitara and a Tiago EV back to back. For that matter, if you have to just compare it with the acceleration, all those things.
Yeah,
I mean, no,
No, no,
even
Doctor Saab,
even
Doctor Saab,
even the even the
I,
cost
डॉक्टर साहब
wise,
प्लीज डॉक्टर साहब
even
प्लीज
the
टियागो की बेइज्जती ना करें.
नहीं नहीं नहीं.
I mean, if some people say नहीं hybrid लूंगा मैं कहा वो don't you see that that's costlier than your ICE and even an EV. You complained about the cost of an EV, then you say that I want a hybrid which is going to be costlier than the both. So there is no cost or a return on investment or total on cost of
one
ownership
of
issue
those
there.
annoying arguments I've got even recently, as recently as last week, was that EVs are actually more harmful for the environment than others. I can't.
Shashank, I'm so sorry, Shashank, I am interrupting you. We have a very beautiful and open-minded person in the name of Jay Prashantji. Let us take in his very open views about what disadvantages do EVs hold. So I would request Nikhil to please bring him on board and let us have a fantastic open-minded discussion.
Sure, sure.
Guys, I was about to shut this off. Mm.
Jay Prashantji,
now you
please come on
now
board.
now this is now you now this will be a discussion which will end at 3 a.m. I'm sure about it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be awake till 3 a.m.
No, no, no,
Sagar,
Jay
in
Prashantji,
just
please.
in just 2 and 3 days, we can have Jay as well. Okay, he's here, so let's just have for 10 and 15 minute max. After that, I will have to round
Yeah, yeah,
this
no
up.
problem.
Yeah, yeah,
Nikhil, we
yeah.
all
Please,
are
please
we
bring him on board.
so Sagar, we all are learned people and professionals. So we have to take everyone's point. There's no problem with that. Like we have to respect everyone. So nothing personal.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So
Nothing
Jay sir,
personal.
please
Please,
go
please,
ahead.
please go on.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I may have had tiffs with a bunch of people, who are say who
Uh,
love EVs. I would call them enthusiasts. Okay, all of most people, I guess, who here are EV enthusiasts. Okay, so generally, when you are an enthusiast in any field, okay, you are the guys who basically adopt a specific technology before others. So you face both, say, difficult situations as well as get the benefits of adopting a technology first. So I have nothing against anybody who adopts EVs. So let me give you a quick background about myself. I have been writing about cars and motorcycles for the last 16 years. Okay, I founded a website called Indian Cars Bikes, which I sold to a company called Sadza Web Media. Then I moved on to Team BHP, where I set up their news section because before I joined, there was no news in Team BHP. I mean, news section. So I was their first news editor. Then I moved to Car Talk in about I think in 2013. So I've been with Car Talk for the last about say 12, 13 years. Okay. So that is basically the background. One thing. And second thing, I hold a degree in electronics engineering. I also hold a LLB in intellectual property law from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kharagpur. So that is basically my background. Okay, that is where I am coming from. That's number one. That's one thing. Second thing, the reason I came into say automobiles is because I love cars. No other reason. So if I say an EV is not suiting somebody for a specific reason, it's only to guide them. It's not to pull down the EV universe as such. Now let's forget about my qualifications or forget about my professional experience. Let's talk as a customer. As of now, see, I am a director of a company called Street2 Packaging Solutions, where we, make and sell packaging material for, basically the food industry. I'm one of the directors. My brother is the other director.
So we run this company. And for the company, I basically have purchased four electric vehicles. Okay. One is an electric two-wheeler. It's a Ather 450X, which is about, say, 3 years old now, and run about, say, 45,000 kilometers. The other electric vehicle that is again mainly used for factory is a Tiago long range XT model. I specifically chose the XT because this didn't need to have bells and whistles, etc. All right, and two other electric vehicles that I own in the sense owned by my company, but I am a co-signer for the finance. All right, they are the Euler high load two vehicles. Okay, both of them have a range of about real world range of about 100 to 120 kilometers. They have I think, a 11 or 12 kilowatt hour battery. I may not be absolutely right about the numbers, but I think it's about
Euler,
that much.
did you mention
Euler,
Euler?
Euler, yes, sir, Euler. It's called Euler because Euler theorem. It's a German, guy called Euler.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's Euler. Yeah, Euler. I mean, it's a proper noun. You can pronounce it anyway, but I call it Euler. So it's
Okay.
Euler high load. Okay, so these are the four electric vehicles I own. A lot of people who've been baiting me on social media think that I'm against EVs. No, sir, absolutely not. Apart from these four EVs, I also own a Kia Sonet GT diesel. I own a Mini Cooper S, which is basically a fun car that is not owned by me, it's owned by my wife. And I have two super bikes. I have not a super bike. One is a sports bike, a Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, and I also own a Triumph Trident 660. So this is basically my entire, automotive universe. Both two wheelers, four wheelers, and three wheelers, and even say an electric car. So from
I
all
knew
this, what
about
I've
your Tiago, but I didn't know about your Euler and Ather.
No, sir. Euler, we bought for our business. One Euler is done about 45,000 kilometers. I'll share a quick experience with all you guys who are listening to EVs because see, 2 weeks ago, I will also put it if you, I don't know whether I can share media here. 2 weeks ago,
You
what
can.
happened was one of our Eulers stopped charging at our factory. A factory, we have a very reliable with all the ground connection, everything, whatever you need. I'm lucky to have, an independent house with a full charging network there. I'm also lucky to also have access to an apartment complex, which also has my own personal charging. And my factory, which is, my workplace, also has a charging network where, we have a proper ground system where we've got professional installation of all these things. All right. So the fact is, the oilers always charge in the factory, and one fine day the oilers stopped charging. This is like a couple of weeks ago. I was at the Royal Enfield Flying Flea event. I was covering that motorcycle. My brother calls me. I had to cut my call. I was basically talking to Mr. Piyush Prasad, who's the guy who's behind the Flying Flea project, who's the head of that thing. So my brother calls me and says, "We have a huge problem." I asked him what happened, and he said that, see, there's one vehicle that's not charging. I sent it to Euler. There's a place called Iblur in Bangalore city. Okay, that is near. I can say it is near the IT belt. Okay, Iblur is close to that Sarjapur eco space or whatever. That place. So my vehicle goes in there, and I get a bill of the part. The rectifier is short, is what he says. It's a 2-year-old vehicle, just out of warranty. Okay, and he says that you'll have to pay, and the cost is 18,000 rupees plus GST. That's about 23,000 rupees. So the fact of the matter is, if I was using a diesel three wheeler for my business, I wouldn't have to pay, say, that much money. Because for that much money, I could in fact overhaul the entire engine. But this is an important but 40,000 kilometers the oiler is run. I've been able to save so much money on fuel costs because literally it is we have commercial power. We don't have the same cost that home users have. We pay about, I think, about 9.8 rupees per unit of electricity. Despite that, our oiler is very very cost effective, and I'm very happy that in fact, I chose oiler for the factory because though my brother wanted a Tata Ace, I said nothing doing. Let's go for an oiler because that will be more cost effective for us. So the fact is, it is not that I am against EVs. All I say in everything, in all the discussions that I have with a lot of gentlemen on Twitter, is that, see, EVs are not for everybody. There are a bunch of people for whom EVs will be difficult to live with. In fact, our Tiago has gone to multiple parts of South India. We've never gone anywhere beyond say 300 kilometers from our home location, which is Hosur. Hosur is where my factory is situated. From Hosur, if my vehicle has to go towards say up to Pondicherry, all right, it requires an extra charge, okay, to go there. But again, people will who already are in the EV space will say that the Tiago is not a long distance car. Yes, true. But if Tata Motors claims 200 kilometers, a person who buys that car, I mean, Tata claims 306. Okay. Right now, I'm talking to you from the Tata Ultros event. I just finished basically the dinner, the pre-launch dinner, and I'm here. I saw this, Twitter discussion. I thought I should jump in. Anyway, my point is, see, the fact of the matter is, EVs are great, fantastic for intracity use. Intracity means driving within the city. If you go to the highway, there is a chance that you will have to plan your trip. The problem right now is a lot of people in India don't want to plan because you know what? It's like saying that, see, if I have a petrol car, I go to a petrol fuel filling station, fill in diesel, get out. If I have a diesel car, I do the same. If I have an electric, I'll have to find an a charging point. And recently on Car Talk, we did a story where I put out a story saying how Mahindra B6 owner is struggling. Okay, in Delhi, the story wasn't about not finding charging stations, but the story was about the internal combustion engine cars blocking EV guys' charging point. This is a huge problem. So that is what I wanted to highlight. But that got, people took it in the wrong way and they started saying, there are hundreds of charging stations. This guy is only
You know,
going to the
No, no, Jay
government charging
Prashant ji,
station.
Jay Prashant ji,
Sagar,
my
Sagar,
only
let me,
So
Sagar,
Sagar,
let me.
Sagar, please let Jay sir complete in one
Yeah.
so that would be good. Then we can just take
All right,
one
I'll, I'll,
point.
I'll I'll conclude. I'll conclude quickly. I don't want
No,
to
no, sir.
waste too much of your time.
So no, no, no,
Yeah,
no. We are free. There is no problem, sir. आप 3
the
तक
fact
अपनी
is,
बात करेंगे.
no, no. The fact is this. The fact is this. See, EVs are obviously are going to be because see, Indians love mileage. Nowhere in India, in any part of the world, you can sell a car that is not so fuel efficient and get away. But in India, kitna deti hai is something that अपना रग रग में जो है ना इंडियंस का दे वांट टू नो दैट हाउ मच माइलेज दैट दे कैन गेट बिकॉज people love saving. In fact, when electric scooters came up, my father jumped in and said, I want an electric scooter. Okay. See, I ride my father's 1989 Chetak. It's a two-stroke Chetak. It's about, see, I'm 38 years old now. That is about 35 years old. Okay. We still have retained it because I love automobiles. But my father said, I want to simply go for an electric vehicle because it saves so much money. My uncle called me and says, should I buy the Chetak or should I buy the Ather? I told him, buy the Chetak because for you, a Chetak is more convenient. I mean, the ride quality is better, so on and so forth. All right, because he doesn't need much range. So I bought a Chetak. The fact is, I am not against EVs, but the what you guys have to understand is EVs are not the solution for everybody. Because I will give you an example. See, since we run the aluminum, we are into aluminum processing. We were basically getting a rolling mill from Indore. This happened, I think, last year, sometime middle of last year. I had to drive all the way from Bangalore to Indore, okay, at short notice. All right. Obviously, I have the Tiago. I can't take the Tiago. It's simply not practical for me. Even if I had a B6 or an XEV9E, it wouldn't have been practical because I drove. I started about 4 o'clock in the morning, early morning. My brother came from Hosur in the Tiago, parked at my apartment complex. I jumped into my car. I drove all the way from here. I went all the way to. I stopped at Dule. First, we stopped for lunch at Solapur. Then Dule, we stopped for the night. Next day morning, I went to Indore, finished my work, came back to Dule at night. Then next day, from Dule to Bangalore, we drove. See, this is not a use case that most people will have, right? But there are some people who want that flexibility. For such people, a turbo diesel engined car is effective as of today. But tomorrow, if you have this BYD coming up with a 5 minute charging, the Xpengs and the BYDs and the Neos of the world, if they are able to give you that 5 minute or 15 minute or even 30 minute charging, where they can go from 20% to 100% or 90% of in that amount of time, people will adopt EVs. It's not that people don't want to adopt EVs. The only reason that people are afraid is right now they think that if they buy a EV, they may not be able to say do a specific distance in a single charge. That is one thing. Second major thing why people are again not very convinced about EVs is what they're thinking. What will happen if after 8 years or 10 years, once the battery runs out, I mean the warranty runs out, if I have to replace the battery, how much will I have to spend? Because see, an engine overhaul, a diesel engine, a Toyota diesel engine overhaul costs about 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees at a Toyota authorized service center. But a Tiago EVs, not a Tiago, I'll call it Nexon, because a Nexon, last time we did a story on Car Talk, it was about 7 to 8 lakh rupees was the cost. This is 2 3 years ago. Okay, now it may have fallen or increased, I don't know. But this was a couple of years story. Okay, so in such circumstances, people have their reservations. Fine. So when I tell somebody to do a specific thing, or I guide somebody on Twitter, it is I always have to go take the middle line. I can't do the extreme thing, because imagine if somebody buys a car now, Tata Tiago or something, and has a battery issue, he will come back after 8 years and blame me, saying you advised me the wrong thing. Because see, please understand, all you guys over here, uh, a human being in this, say a normal human being, there are two biggest purchases he makes in his or her life. All right, one is a house. That is the biggest purchase, and second biggest purchase for most human beings is a car. So car is such an expensive purchase, so it is very important that we have to take the middle ground. We can't recommend technology that is
Jay,
fully not ready for everybody.
yeah,
That is my only point. And this is my humble
I
submission. I have
I
nothing
I
against
I got
EVs.
your point,
I stop
and
my I'll stop my
yeah,
rant here,
yeah,
and I will
yeah.
let
You
No, no,
know,
others
no.
no,
continue. I'll want to hear.
It's not a rant. It's
just
not a rant.
let me,
So
Dr.
what?
Sab,
But Nikhil,
let me go through these one by one,
yes, yes.
and then you and Sagar can take over.
Yeah. So what you
So
can do is, you can take all the points, and then Rakesh sir
yeah,
can
yeah,
start and
yeah,
answer the questions, right? And please,
yeah,
nothing to be
yeah,
personal, right? We are open to
yeah.
everything,
No,
because
nothing. We have nothing
नहीं नहीं
against
नहीं
anyone.
निखिल, मेरे बाप ने नहीं बनाई है ये टेक्नोलॉजी, ठीक है ना? मेरे को कोई टेंशन नहीं है,
सही बात.
ठीक है ना? तो अपने को टेंशन नहीं है, कंपनीज बना रही हैं, सरकार रेगुलेशन ला रही है, हमारे को कुछ नहीं करना। हमारा बस चले तो हम
Yeah.
जीएसटी जीरो कर दें सब चीजों पे, ठीक है? तो टू स्टार्ट विद, इट शुड बी हेल्दी डिस्कशन, बिकॉज समटाइम्स
Yeah.
लिखने में ना नहीं मालूम पड़ता बंदा क्या लिख रहा है या क्या कहना चाहता है, ठीक है ना?
Absolutely.
Nikhil, I have to go. I just want to respond very in very crisp for one of the point Mr. Jay has raised. So
Okay.
2 3 years back, Mr. Jay is saying he was quoted some 7 lakhs for a Nexon battery. Post 2 3 years, that is being sold at 330. Okay.
Yeah.
Now again, the question of after 8 years, what will happen? So you can very well, envisage how much will be the prices after 8 years. That is number one. 8 years is a warranty. That is not the end of life for that particular battery. Battery, if we talk about LFP battery, they are coming with at least 2,500 to 3,000 cycle. So multiply that by the range which it is giving. That is the life of that battery. Okay, it may fail. We are not saying it will not fail. It may fail, but there are certain cells which will fail, which can be replaced at a very nominal cost. Not even this 18,000 or 30,000 what you were quoting for engine overhauling.
Rakesh, I will go through this point in
Yeah,
details as well.
yeah.
So, Jay, the first point you talked about is that EVs are not for everyone, and we agree with it. We are fine that EVs at this moment are not for the 100% of the population, and we do not expect 100% of the vehicle sales tomorrow to be EV only, right? We are at nearing 3% in four wheeler, 5 and 6% balance is in two wheelers. We are saying that the percentage of people buying vehicles, a good percent, not majority, a good percent can do with EVs even today, even with their needs met. The cases that you have mentioned, right, might not work for that, might not work for that. Absolutely fine. These are absolutely fine cases. Someone wants someone, turbo diesel or petrol, whatever works for them. That's absolutely okay. But a good percent of people never go outside of, let's say limited range of 50 or 60 kilometers. uh, and in two wheelers especially, no, I don't know anyone who's doing more than 50 60 kilometer, and my friends more than that. So those are fine with EVs. So two wheeler, and in the four wheeler as well, my dad goes like 10 kilometer a day. So if he is to buy a new car, I would go tell him to go for an EV. If he is to buy a new car, he's not buying right now. So yeah, that was the point one. And what was the other point?
Second was that intra-city, city A to city B travel.
Yeah, city A to city B. I mean, I don't think a good amount of people are doing a city A to city B regularly. They might have to plan, and I think the point that need to be conveyed is that it is okay to plan for the rare cases that you might have to do in an electric vehicle for once a month, once every 2 or 3 months, right? And
One has to understand what are their need of the travel. Accordingly, have to plan the right EV for them.
No, and
yeah,
it is pretty simple. If anyone thinks EV is a scam, this is nonsense. So we are getting to step one. If I am believing in this ecosystem, I'm buying. So I know what I am getting into, right? If I'm marrying someone, I know if I am into a marriage, I know what responsibilities are now I have, right? So this is similar thing is with EV. If I am buying an EV, I know that I have to plan, I have to get these apps and all those things. And EV community, once you are into the EV community, sometimes we don't even check the apps also. We just ask, भाई बताओ यार ये चार्ज मेरी रेंज इतनी है, मेरे को यहाँ चार्जर मिल जाएगा, ये चलता है कि नहीं चलता. So these things help. So
No,
people
no,
are
Doctor Saab,
so
Doctor
so
Saab,
people are
see,
and
using
EV,
it's and
एक minute.
we accept that EVs are a different lifestyle than ICE,
yeah.
and that's okay, I think.
Correct. I think we
No,
can
no,
consider
Nikhil, Nikhil,
this
Nikhil, the point is, Shashank, the point is, we are evolving as human beings. We are not Homo sapiens right now. Okay. The thing is, EV is the mobility of the future. And any EV customer that is coming onboarding into this ecosystem comes with a very detailed study. He knows what he's getting into. So it is not a thing that EVs are, intra-city. There are absolutely thousands of people daily that are doing interstate in EVs. I can show you that with the amount of charges and with the amount of planning. And planning is like changing a new mobile. In 15 days, you'll get used to the new mobile. You will get used to the ecosystem, and planning just takes 15 minutes once you are used to one or two trips on the highways.
So one of our team member Hariraj, he bought a Punch EV, I think last year, last to last end, and we helped him plan a couple of trips. In early days, he learned with us before that also, but now he just takes his Punch EV, just Punch EV. It's not a high range EV, 35 kilowatt hour version. It's the top model, but you won't say that is the highest range EV in the market. So now he is familiar with the routes he has to do. He knows the chargers, and he just goes without any planning, and he just plugs it in. So yeah, it takes slight time. It might take slight time, as you said, 15 days. And we just talked to a Windsor Pro EV owner who just shifted from a Desire, and he has been doing 80 kilometer daily in his Windsor. So these things are possible. What's
And
the issue is that sometime on social media it gets extreme. uh, Eyes biased people will say that yeah, that okay, these are city only. They will portray that you can't do more than city, while you can easily do that.
yeah, and moreover, Nikhil, the thing is, if somebody is buying an ICE vehicle, good for him. We are not saying that why have you bought an ICE vehicle? You should have bought an EV vehicle. So we don't have to get to that point. But our aim is to, like Sagar, Shashank, or me, or Ankush, anyone who is having an EV we are just sharing our experience to the fence sitters. We are not asking ICE people to buy an EV because Parvez is doing a intercity trip and he can manage it. So it's people know what they are buying. It's everyone has a hard-earned money, right? We still take many people take loans for the cars, but still, it's a hard-earned money after all. So
No,
people are
no,
buying an
Doctor
informed
Saab,
decision.
I'll give you a very
Just 1 second. So just painting like we can't do an intercity trip. That's not that's not the right thing. So yes, there would be situations you will have a poor you will have a bad charging experience. There could be it could be there. Like I have a
I
188
can concede
times. I have the data of 188 times I've charged wherever I have charged. So 1 or 2 times I have got a poor charging experience. But once I'm traveling, I always have a backup plan. So that planning is always there and it will be there. But things are improving. We've got our first EV in 2020. This is 2025. 2.5 years were went with COVID. So why we are just going into this anti-EV anti-EV narrative? Why don't we have to go into this thing? If something has to be asked, it has to be asked from the CPO, it has to be asked from the manufacturer. Why, as the owner, I have to answer every question? That thing is ridiculous. Basically, I can
One
do an intercity drive. There is
one
no
thing,
problem.
Parvez, that I'll concede is there's definitely an element of planning involved, and we may be EV geeks who are happy to do that sort of planning and enjoy it. But I can admit that there are car users who just want to drive from point A to point B, don't want to open an app. But
A
Yeah, that
small,
is right.
a small
Agreed.
thing,
Agreed.
a small thing. You can't say that EVs are not intercity. They certainly are. See, Tiago is not. You're coming from a situation of Tiago. Any EV which has a range of real world range of
Saib, I will
350
just
plus can
any
do
battery.
intercity travel anywhere. I don't
agreed.
even look
Even if you
at my.
remove real world range,
You know,
any battery pack,
Akhil
any
is
battery
here.
pack which is
Akhil
above 40
and
kilowatt hour, no problems.
Akhil was just here, and Arun, who runs this club with me, they bought
And
Kona
I will
Electric.
I will just
Kona,
add one
Kona
thing. Then
Electric first in 2020,
I will just
and
add one thing. Then let Akhil speak. I will just ask. I will let one thing. You will. I repeat again. You will have multiple videos with BEV owners from Mahindra having poor charging experiences, poor range, because these are the people who have bought the cars, they have made YouTube channels, and they would just want to run amok. And you will have multiple videos like that. Once EV adoption increases in India, you will have multiple videos which are just opposite to the real time experiences, right? So what we will do is we will let Akhil sir speak and Nikhil to introduce.
Akhil is not here right now. But another point to the J that charger being blocked, that's an absolute issue. We have seen it at many times, and yeah, that's unfortunate that it happens. But I don't think it's on such a high level that one should be afraid of being that okay.
yeah.
I'll add,
I would face it every day.
put it this way:
So
I done an 800-kilometer trip from Delhi to Satna last year, and it's some remote place in UP, a town called Orai. There was one 60 kilowatt charger. We got there; it was free, but there was a power cut for an hour, so the entire trip was delayed for an hour. And I could imagine at that time that someone who's not into EVs would be frustrated at that point. But let's say from a commercial perspective, just purely commercial perspective, let's assume that you're not an EV lover or any of those things. I've driven 27,000 kilometers. It would have cost me 2.5 lakhs with a gas car. It's cost me 45K. So if it takes me a few extra minutes over 2 years to save 2.5 lakhs, I would I would take it. I mean, it's still a win, I would say, despite
And
the
yeah,
that was a one of the experience, right? That was not a daily experience.
absolutely not just one.
The-
And like I said, even someone who's not into EVs should accept that if you're saving 2.5 lakhs and having to wait 1 hour once in 2 years, it's a decent deal.
Shashank and everybody, I like to pitch in on the multiple topics that you guys are discussing. The biggest challenge which I see is anti EV, pro EV. I don't know why this category is being made, and whenever we've been responding to any of these big influencers,
Okay, why we are trying to kill the sentiment of an anti-EV thought process is what we feel that if you want to drive mass adoption, the people who the general mass market listens to, right? A person, for example, Volt Club is providing advice to people, right? So people listen to them. So if they start telling people a positive spin about EVs, people will start accepting EVs. Now, having said that, if people accept EVs, there will be problems. Can I go out, stay out of station, all those things. Please understand, anything in this world does not work without demand. Okay, you need to have demand to create a supply for it. Nobody invests in supply if there is no demand, right? And the whatever has been done till today, I bought an EV in 2023. I've done 52,000 kilometers on it. I've seen the infrastructure grow in front of my eyes. I go to Sirsa, which is my wife's hometown. I There used to be one charger, okay, 125 kilowatt charger. Today there are somewhere around 20 in the whole route. Okay, the infrastructure is improving, somebody is investing, but the investment will get faster. When will it get faster? When people will start adopting at a higher rate. Why would I put in money to support something which is 2% of the market right now? I don't want to put in that money.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
and the last thing is the media channels, these influencers, so should start calling out the actual real issues. Have anybody, any big media outlet, run the story that all the OMC put chargers are not online, nobody's maintaining them, nobody's taking care of them, government is not using the public money in the right way. Has somebody done something? No, nobody will do that. But people will tell actual EV owners who are trying to create a
Absolutely right.
create a positive spin on it, that this is any which way is helpful for this country. Okay, there are multiple studies why it is helpful for this country. Won't go into that, but at least create a positive spin for it, right? Try to do something to contribute rather than just countering the people who are sharing their experience and telling why it works.
Exactly my point. As pointed by the
Sir,
article.
this
Excuse
is
me.
just 1 second. I just
Can
want to. Okay, you finish.
can,
I'll just
can I?
butt in here. Okay.
Jay was
Please finish. Please
Jay
finish.
was talking about a article that they did on BE6 being stranded in Delhi. See, the
Yes.
title of the article was problematic. The problem was not with the car, na. The problem was with the person who was blocking the charger. So the topic of the point should be different. आप
Gentlemen, understand one thing. Understand one thing. If the headline is not strong, the person will not read beyond the headline, because 9 out of 10 people, just stop at the headline. So for us
Sir,
to
this
make
headline
people
doesn't need to be
read the
clickbait.
story, the headline has to be attractive
So
enough.
please, please.
You know, Jay, you
I will
answered
just
your question
I will
yourself
just keep
that
it.
people don't go
Uh,
beyond the headline.
Yeah,
So they are just
Nikhil.
pasting a screenshot everywhere that BE6 is having
exactly,
issue.
No,
They
guys,
didn't
exactly.
guys,
go into
guys.
the
Uh,
article.
So
No,
please,
that
Nikhil,
please,
is,
please
see, I cannot get
hold
100
on, hold
people
on.
inside, but at least I can get, with a bounce rate of say 60%, I can get 40 people inside. 40 people inside who come in are going to read that. There are a lot of people who are parking in front of charging points, which is actually causing a problem. That is the whole point of that story.
It is a genuine issue. It is
No,
an
if we
issue.
don't highlight, see, we are the only guys. If you notice about all media outlets, okay, we're the only guys
Jay
who are
sir, just
speaking
hold
about it.
on.
That is important.
You know,
Sir, just
Jay, we have
Nikhil, just please, just 1 second. Nikhil sir, you are absolutely right. If the headline is like that, but headline can be like this. Please kindly use common sense. Don't park your vehicles in front of the EV charger. So that could be a headline. तब भी लोग पढ़ेंगे.
Sir, ऐसे
नहीं
हम
नहीं
करेंगे
नहीं
तो
नहीं, एक मिनट,
if I
उससे
were to put
उससे
that
बेटर,
headline, nobody would even, because people would stop at
Sir,
the
उससे
headline
आप
बेटर,
and go
करिएगा.
away.
नहीं
No,
नहीं,
no, no,
At
sir.
least
एक
if I
मिनट,
say
No, no, no.
B6, people who are interested in the B6 will come and read it. At least
जे
some
जी
Sir, you
people
are
will,
right. You are right.
will be
जे
able
जी,
You
to
are right.
see.
एक
I'm in the
guys,
Sir,
media
if you can
business,
just
so this is basically the reason we do this. The reason we do this
sir,
is to
if on
drive
a
more
headline,
people into the content.
right, right.
Headline
Sir,
cannot be
if it
easy.
is
Jay,
Jay, sir,
Jay,
just 1 second, sir. Sir, just 1 second. If it is the opposite story, someone is popping the head out of the sunroof. What will we write? B6 guy popping the head out of the sunroof. And then people would read. We have to just write people like we have to be careful. I'm not saying that the story was wrong or you have done the story, that it would have gone to the right
Doc-
people and right message should have gone. But yes,
Jay,
we can be
Jay,
careful, but
Jake,
it's part of the it's
what if B6 is the keyword? If B6 is the keyword, we work in IT, we work in IT. I know how SEO works, how your content promotion works. Work on digital transformation only as my projects. Okay, so I know how all of this is done to promote and make sure your content gets listed at the right places for you to get as many more hits
even
as possible.
no
Can
no
I complete,
no
please?
no
Can I complete, please? Can I complete, please? Sorry, please. Can I complete?
yeah.
I know why it is done, but a headline, yes, has to be catchy for somebody to open the article, but it can be catchy in the right way as well. For example, a B6 customer gets stranded due to blocked chargers. Is it a real problem?
It is a real problem, but nobody will click on this headline. That is the problem. You know
You
digital
see, because
No,
transformation,
no,
my
no,
you
no,
know
no.
digital
Yeah,
transformation, good sir, but you don't know what really works because I am the guy who runs this. I've been
Ankush,
running it for
Shashank, just a
15
minute.
years, so I know
So
what
Jay,
I
Jay,
works.
think
Sounds
this
Doctor
like a
Sahab,
very
Doctor
oh,
Sahab,
sounds like a
Doctor
very
Sahab,
good
Doctor
no
Sahab,
no
Doctor Sahab, Doctor Sahab,
guys,
just a
guys,
minute. Doctor Sahab, just a
no
minute.
just
Doc,
what I'm trying to no just
guys. So one by one, please. Everyone, if everyone speaks at
yeah.
once,
So
no one is here.
what we can do is B6
So
story is done and dusted. Let's go to the next topic, right?
you
So
know,
B6
on
one
the
we don't have to
just one point here. I am not sure if Jay has seen it or not. I personally have regularly tweeted the image of charges being blocked, and in capital letters put out the request that please do not, block or park there. So we EV owners accept this, and we
Nikhil,
spread that message also.
Nikhil, can I pitch in?
I just want
Just
to
give
say
me
Yes,
30
Sagar.
seconds. Just give me 30 seconds, Shashank. Shashank, just give me 30 seconds.
Yes, Sagar, you go
Jay
on, then
Prashantji,
Shashank.
Jay Prashantji, we respect you a lot. See, we only have a few ideological differences, but that can be, muted out with the discussion. My only question to you is for your clickbait of clicking with the correct headline of any article, you are indirectly and directly defaming EV as a whole powertrain. And this is a very bad message, to the society that, this should go for a clickbait or maybe people getting it catchy headline. This is very bad for the whole ecosystem.
I want to add to that. I don't see any difference if Jay, you're defending the sensationalism and saying that if chargers being blocked is an argument against the B6 or against EVs, then by that logic, wrong side driving cases are an argument against cars themselves. You know, it doesn't work that way. I agree that you've got clicks to generate, but there are constraints. I think everyone operates on. This is a stretch, in my opinion. And second, the other point that you mentioned in your the first time you spoke, you said battery failures are an issue. I've just Googled here, so I'm not sure how credible the data might be, but the numbers I'm seeing are EVs have less than 1% battery failures today. But if you look at deaths in India, 35 deaths are not because of road accidents. So India has 3.5 percent of its deaths coming from road accidents, and 1% of battery failures coming from EVs. By
And
that,
that also all because of unsafe cars,
exactly.
unsafe roads.
Yeah. So if less than 1% battery failure is an argument against EVs, then 3.5% deaths is an argument against driving itself. No, it doesn't make sense.
Shashank, also on the point that, as Jay Prakash rightly mentioned, 2 or 3 years ago, the Tata 30 kilowatt hour version battery was priced around 7 or 8 lakh head for the replacement. But a few months ago, I saw that the 40 kilowatt hour version is being priced at 4.4 lakh. So that's a reduction in, that's literally more
Right.
than half in
I'm
two
not
or
even
three
looking
years.
at the cost because less than 1%, anything can fail. That's just life. I
You
mean,
know, no, absolute point. I mean, if
Guys,
even
what
if
you're
there's
not
something.
understanding is the layman doesn't buy all these arguments. You have to understand. You are trying to change somebody's behavior.
sir we
If
have
you're
sir
trying to
we have
change somebody's
agreed on
behavior,
that.
telling him to plan, etc., what you guys are not understanding is it is
Sir,
not
we have
easy to
hashed
do
sir
that. It is not so easy.
sir
So you
Yes,
guys,
sir,
what
we
you're
have
saying? See, you are
clarified that it is
advocates.
not
Why
for
should I
everybody.
be an advocate for an EV? So why should I advocate EV?
So,
You guys
because
are
You
fans.
shouldn't.
because
I'm
it
not.
You
helps
No,
the
no,
shouldn't,
I'm
sir.
not
country,
an
because
advocate.
it helps the country, because it helps
But
the
No,
country.
but
helping the
then you
country,
shouldn't be
helping the
say.
country, all of it is subjective,
please,
gentlemen.
please be
Helping the country is
speaking.
opinion. It is not
It is not,
factual. It
it
is
is not,
opinion.
not subjective. It is proven by data. It is proven by data
What
why it
data
is
proves it?
helpful.
Shashank sir,
You are going to buy stuff from China rather than buy from UAE. That is what is you are saying.
sir,
No,
Jay
no,
sir and Shashank
no,
sir,
no, no,
please
Guys,
hold
guys,
on.
guys, guys.
One by one, one by
no.
one.
Please hold
Please,
on.
one by one.
So, let me do the
Let
moderation. So
let
uh,
yeah, yeah. Carry on.
let Jay sir just rebut whatever has been said. Jay sir, please go ahead.
So Jaisar has made a point
Yeah.
that do we
So
want to give it to China rather than UAE?
that is basically it. Because you know what? As of now, the problem is if you look at the Trump Tucker Carlson interview, which happened before he became the president, it is very simple. What he said, see, I'm not a fan of the Trump guy, okay? Because see, I am left of center. What I identify myself not as right of center, I am left of center, okay? That is what my political beliefs are. I'm putting it right here because I am, unfiltered. I am basically going to say what I am. That is one thing. Second thing, see, the reason why I tell China is basically, so important is right now, if you notice, there is one guy called Kannan Gopinathan who was an ex-IAS. Okay, right now what he does is he's founded a new company in Pune. What he does is he translates Chinese news websites that I read on a regular basis because I want to know what is happening in China because China is one of the largest EV markets in the world. Okay, and also it is driving EV change. Okay, I mean electric vehicle mobility as a means of propulsion. So when I read all these articles, China, the CCP has actually passed a resolution that says we are going to protect all technology. That is basically battery manufacturing, lithium, mainly the lithium extraction technology. That whatever they have, the technology that the proprietary technology that Chinese have, they're going to protect it. They're not going to let it go outside. So they have already sent a missive to all the major, battery manufacturers, including they have this Octaleon and a bunch of people who are doing it. So they've sent a missive there. That is one thing. And the second thing, they are protecting their interest because they think that this is going to be like the next oil, so they have that feeling, I mean, or whatever. That is what the Chinese media is saying. If you read that website, you will know his name is Kannan Gopinath. Please go and follow him. That is one thing if you want to know. That is okay. So this is also a geopolitical issue. So we don't know whether EVs are going to save the world or oil is going to save the world or whatever. But since our oil imports are reducing to a large extent by us adopting EVs, it is a good thing. I'm not saying it is a bad thing because electricity, there are a lot of cleaner ways that we can produce using renewables, so on and so forth. All of it is agreed. But the thing is, when you talk to a common man and you explain, I shouldn't be explaining all these things to him. My job is to be just put out facts as it is, as I see things. All right, because you guys are EV advocates, you guys are EV fans, you want more and more people to go EV, which is fair.
We
But to expect
Can
me
I,
to me
can I,
to
can we
to
answer
expect
this?
me to do
can
your
I
job,
interject, sir?
मेरे कंदुक से मत मतलब जो गोली मारते हैं whatever, because I'm not a
Can I
I
interject,
mean
sir?
Hindi speaker.
No, no, sir.
Yeah,
So,
मैं
so,
वो नहीं
so,
कर
so,
सकता भाई.
so,
Sir,
so, what we do is we let a new speaker speak. Simran, can you speak? If you can allow Nikhil, let him speak.
Yes.
Simran ji.
Simranjit is the speaker.
Hi, everyone. Am I audible?
yes.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, you are audible and you
Yeah.
have only 5 minutes, right?
Okay,
So
okay,
let's
okay,
limit
okay.
the time down.
Let me introduce myself. I'm a EV user. I've been using the EV Max, Nexon EV Max for the last 2 years, driven around, completed 85,000 kilometers just today. And what my forte in this EV conversation is going to be that I, for one, have been following the Chinese EV scene. Probably, I think more than anyone I've seen on Indian Twitter. Uh, Sir was talking about that Karan Gopinathan guy. He just started translating Chinese articles. I think 3 or 4 months ago or 5 months ago, I've been translating and reading Chinese articles for the last 2 years by first by Google Translate, and now even I use AI tech to translate it. Probably I can identify 50 to 55 Chinese car brands. I list their entire lineup, and I've studied the entire evolution of the Chinese EV scene. So I'll try to pitch in my observations of the Chinese EV scene and why China, a country that is now the uh, at purchasing power parity is the biggest economy in the world. Why did they push EVs and why did they get 50 plus percent plus EV adoption? If you add in plug-in hybrids, 26 or 27% battery electrics and the rest are plug-in hybrids. They've crossed 55%, I think, first quarter this year. So first and foremost, the thing that is similar between India and China is that only 37 countries in the world are oil surplus states. Those 37 countries export 99% of the oil in this world. China imports a hell a lot of oil. India imports a hell a lot of oil. So that thing they wanted uh, independence from sanctions. See, there is a new Cold War. The world is not any longer unipolar. There are two poles, China and America, and Europe is was pro-America. Now Europe is becoming neutral due to
Simranjit,
Trump's.
if you can speed up your point regarding this.
I'm speeding up my point. Thing is, EVs provide energy independence that is uncontestable. The thing in what happened in China is what we need to understand is that EVs are a profitable business. Price parity has been almost hit in India. EVs demand a 10 to 15% MRP premium at this point, not a 50% premium. We have a 15 lakh EV, we have a 12 lakh EV, we have a 20 lakh EV. This is the price point at which 90% of cars in India sell, 12 to 20 lakhs. So, or you may say 8 or 9 lakhs to 20 lakhs. So the thing is, the charging infrastructure thing is not yet profitable. The, the only reason that the charging infrastructure is shit in India, um, please, if you don't mind my profanity, is it is not profitable yet. Once EV mass crosses uh, 1 million working, traveling, big battery, high speed EVs in India, 1 million, the charging infrastructure at grade A highways will become profitable. And once it crosses 5 million vehicles on the road, any EV charger setup at any place will become profitable. There will be offline chargers. There can be pump operator like man operated charges. No need to carry an app. No need. In India, we have one advantage. We have a lot of human capital. Any EV point. If I say I have a charging network on say on a Delhi Amritsar highway with 12 or 13 EV points, I can recruit an on-site engineer to manage it. I can recruit pump operators to plug in every car, valet that car, and charge it and give it back. But
So,
that
yeah.
first push to make it profitable, to make 1 million EVs on road.
Simran Paji,
हाँ जी.
भाई आपा EV infrastructure, we are not discussing about EV
हाँ
infrastructure.
नहीं
We
नहीं
are
नहीं
talking
नहीं.
about
Simranjit,
Jay
I
said.
think
ठीक है.
Let me
I think the
conclude
point
here.
Simranjit is
So
trying to
so
make is that this is a transition, and
हाँ,
as more and more,
that transition, the role of the state is very important to incentivize. There are many things happened in China. They started rolling incentivizing
yeah.
EVs. Companies found a shortcut. They were even making lead acid EVs. Then they made rules for battery capacity. Then they started making LFP batteries. Then they made rules for battery concentration. Suddenly, in a couple of years, NMCs were dominating in China over LFP. Then China found out that cobalt has to be imported, so they
what we
rebalanced.
can do is
Huh.
Can,
So
right.
a
What we can do is
lot of
Akhil
things
sir
will
is
come
here.
and go, but the first and foremost thing, if
I mean,
this
our companies
charging range
definitely need
anxiety,
to
if this
invest in
planning
research and
issue has to
development.
be solved, we need
Yeah.
at least 1 million EVs on the road. At the current time, I
Right,
don't
right,
think
right.
we have 2.5 to 3 or 3.5 lakh EVs. Once we cross that 1 million mark, chargers at major roads will become profitable, and you'll see 99.9% uptime on chargers, multiple guns at every site. Till
So
then, it. Hmm.
Simran, just hold on. So Nikhil, Simran's point is very valid.
Yeah.
The infrastructure and all those things. So what we can do is let Akhil sir is now there. Akhil and Ferrari rules. If you can ask both the speakers to be,
Yeah. So
if you can ask both the people
yeah,
to be speakers.
yeah. I'm the
So
speaker. I can take this next. So I would want to answer what Jay raised, right? Dependence on China, right? Jay, I don't know. I know you've been reading Chinese news. I've been reading Indian news. Okay, and Indian news. There was a company called Loham. There is a company called Loham. A lot of people have covered them. They've come up with their own proprietary re-extraction of lithium from the batteries. For that sake, every metal that is present in the batteries to a purity rate of 90%. Okay, which majority of the people in the world have not been able to do. Their own process, which they have developed, is patented by them. Okay, they have a patent. This is an Indian company. They have their own patent. They've got 17 operating
material is
locations.
also there.
Uh, uh,
Material
se- se-
recycling is also.
yeah, so 17 operating locations there. Somewhere around six in NCR itself are operating already. They're already recycling lithium batteries, and you will think which lithium batteries? Right now, phone batteries get recycled today. Okay, because those are the ones which are available in mass abundance. Okay, but they are refining their process for other batteries as well. Okay, and also please understand, when you talk about dependence on China, the oil that we import today is one time use. I burn, it gets over. Lithium is not a one time use product, or for that sake, any component of a lithium battery is not a one time. Once imported, it is mine. It is mine to use forever.
So that's
Okay.
basically the difference between why China, why not UAE. Whatever we are
Yes, yes.
importing from China stays in India. It is recyclable. Whatever we import from UAE just goes in air, polluting it.
Correct. And
There's, there's one more point.
I'll answer further. When we talk about China, dependence on China, think about hybrids today. Okay. Think about hybrids today. Toyota, Honda, both of them are selling hybrids in this country today. It has been almost somewhere around 4 to 5 years they've been selling hybrids. None of the manufacturers, not even one of them, has localized an hybrid engine in India. They are still importing it 100% from outside, be it Japan, be it somewhere else. So why is importing of a hybrid engine all fine because it is coming from Japan, but because battery comes from China, it is China dependent. We are any which way not the manufacturers of anything which is highly tech in this world. At least make choices which will make us independent.
Yeah. So Nikhil, if you can make Akhil sir and Ferrari rules
Akhil,
speakers, so that
Akhil is Akhil is
I
in Europe and he is.
okay. Okay, so you can ask Ferrari sir, Ferrari rules
I was I was
Ankush.
speaking. I was speaking. This is me speaking
अच्छा
only.
उसमें फिर
Okay.
Ferrari rules okay okay
Okay.
right
Yeah.
right 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 वो मुझे समझ नहीं आया actually so what we do is now कौन बोलेगा
If Shashank wants to carry on.
नहीं, just one last point from my side, सर. आपको कोई एजेंडा पेडल करने को नहीं बोल रहा है, ठीक है? आप बोल रहे थे हिंदी में कंफर्टेबल हो, तो मैं आपको एक सिंपल लाइन बोल रहा हूँ. कोई आपको एजेंडा पेडल करने के लिए नहीं बोल रहा है, ना ही हम लोग एजेंडा पेडल कर रहे हैं, ठीक है? एजेंडा वाला ना हमारा हिसाब किताब है, ना हमारा काम है. दिस इज नॉट माई फुल टाइम जॉब. ओके, दिस इज माई इंटरेस्ट. ओके, दिस इज माई +1 एक्टिविटी, इफ यू से सो. ओके, सो मेरा एजेंडा नहीं है. मेरे को दिखता है पॉजिटिव है, इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूं वो पॉजिटिव है, और मेरे पास फैक्ट्स हैं उसे पॉजिटिव करने के लिए. और हम आपको एजेंडा नहीं समझा रहे, हम आपको ये समझा रहे हैं कि आप भी हमारे पर्सपेक्टिव से देखने की कोशिश करो. आपको भी दिखेगा कि हाँ, पॉजिटिव है. इट इज नॉट जस्ट अ स्पिन और एन एजेंडा दैट समबडी इज पेडलिंग.
You know,
Yeah.
I want to
Ankush,
come
you
in here. I just
great
want
point here that media might want to earn from their clicks, but all of us, we haven't earned anything from this. We are
हाँ,
just
I
doing that
I
because we
I
like
don't
it.
get anything. I don't get anything, but it is not an
I
agenda
haven't
for
got
me.
anything. I haven't got anything also.
Guys, you are enthusiasts, all right.
Yes,
So my full respect to you, but understand one thing: I cannot recommend something to somebody if it is not fully suiting him or her. So that
Sir,
is a
sir, sir,
I
problem.
am not
Because
asking you
people
to
will turn
recommend.
around and
just
say
one
that I
second.
have this issue. I can't say,
Just
okay,
one
go buy an
second.
EV, and if he has an issue,
No, no,
he
no.
comes back. What am I going to
Ferrari
say?
sir,
Understand that.
Ferrari
So
sir,
that is my
Ferrari,
no,
one
limitation.
second.
no,
भाई एक सेकंड का तो
absolutely
लैंग्वेज बोल रहे
understandable.
हैं एक सेकंड Sir, right from the start of the discussion, we have said EVs are not for everybody. That answers the question. We are not
That
saying
is all.
to a
I am
nice
not saying.
owner.
I'm not saying EV is a bad technology. I own four
Right. So
EVs. I own four EVs.
Nikhil, just yes. So let's be like this. So you are saying that EV is not a bad technology. We agree. We all agree. EV Zindabad. We are saying Gadar, right? वो बोलता है पाकिस्तान मुर्दाबाद, इंडिया हिंदुस्तान जिंदाबाद, right? EV Zindabad. Agreed. EVs are not for everybody. Agreed. But as an EV owner, Sagar, Pranav, Shyam, Parvez, Ankush, if we are sharing our real time experience with the owners who are on a fence setting. We are not asking someone who is going into the showroom to buy a nice car कि brother आजा बाहर और EV ले ले. No, not at all. It is for the fence sitters. For a fence sitter, I will say that yes, you can do an intercity drive. A 40 kilowatt hour battery pack is sufficient to do any drive with a proper planning. We agree with the
And
plan.
and
We
Doctor
have got
Saab,
we have got
and
we
Doctor
have
Saab,
got
if we'll
apps for the
see,
bank. No, no, no,
Doctor Saab,
no,
एक
no.
minute. If
Just
we'll
let me
see,
finish. No, no, no. Just 3 seconds. Three points, which are again coming again and again. First step is we do not recommend EVs for everyone. So, पहली तो हमने we are conceding it. Currently, the EVs are not for everyone. Simranjit said that there are a lot of things which is to be done, but that thing is not.
Hello.
Uh,
Yeah.
Akhil,
We
if
can
Owners,
you
hear you.
are
we
Akhil,
are an
Akhil, if you
experienced
are here,
stakeholder.
if you can.
Yes, hi. Sorry, I'm joined pretty late. I seem to be pretty out of sync with the discussion. So, um, would appreciate if somebody tells me what the thread of discussion is going on.
I'll summarize.
Yeah.
Jay here made 3-4 points about EVs. Number one, he said there's risks of battery failures. Second, he said that he's got nothing personally against EVs, although I think he does. And third, we discussed sensationalism in the media, things like people blocking chargers, which we argue is not a case against EVs, it's a case against etiquette. Those are largely what we've talked about.
See, etiquette or not, this is affecting the common man who's driving an EV, man. Understand that.
Jay, I
All this,
told you.
language of, say, couching it in different language won't work.
No,
Because a
so
guy buys an EV, is
no,
not
my
able to
God.
charge, he's gonna get pissed off.
I
That's
No,
the
told you.
point.
so somebody gave an
Explain someone
example,
Jay
right?
sir,
The wrong side driving is a big problem. So that does not
Yes,
mean
we
that
say
one should.
that's a problem. We have to highlight that, right? As media, if we don't
So,
highlight, who's gonna highlight?
so in that case, you highlight
So
not just
we
driving,
don't
don't
we
support
don't
cars
stop
itself.
guys,
driving the
guys,
cars
let
because
let
of that,
let
right?
let
Yeah,
Rakesh,
so 1%,
Rakesh.
that means, because there's 1% risk, you'll have to take, every risk that is there. People are not going to accept it. Please understand that. Because
Uh,
you're trying to change behavior. To change behavior is going to take some time. Okay, everybody accepts that. But the fact of the matter is, as of now, the infrastructure is ready for a few people. It's not ready for everybody. And one more Sikh gentleman, I don't know what his name is. I think Simranjit, Mr. Simranjit. He also told us that, once you have this critical mass, about 10%, 25% or something, it's going to be more profitable. There'll be more CPOs, etc., etc. Yes, I accept it. Absolutely. If that happens, if more and more people go EV, great. But
See, Jay,
at this point in time, if somebody asks me, this is what I have to say. That is all I'm saying.
I
I'm not
absolutely
saying I'm
agree.
no,
against. But if you say that you are against TV and there's some gentleman here saying that I am against TV,
I'll
it's
tell
talking
you why.
rubbish, man. It's bullshit.
I'll
What
tell
is
you
he
why I
saying?
said
What does he know? Has he
Jay, I'll,
driven the number of cars I have driven? No. He's simply saying that I am
Jay,
against TV. I have four EVs and he's saying I'm against TVs. What
let me
rubbish
speak.
is this?
I'll tell you why I think so. Yesterday, you tweeted that EVs are use and throw. That doesn't
No,
sound
no,
like
user.
something
I didn't tweet it yesterday. I didn't tweet it yesterday. I tweeted a long time ago. And there is one guy called Pranav Jindal or somebody who's
here. Yeah,
baiting me everywhere. I don't care. See, I really don't give a damn of who he is and what he does, etc. Keeps
Jay,
baiting me.
no,
Let
no,
him bait me. Because see, it's his job. He's doing his job. I'm doing my job. The fact of the matter is, I told that because the original Tata Nexon EVs, you're the first ones that came in between 2020 and 2022. Okay, whatever those the first gen models, most models aren't on the road, especially the guys who are on the fleet. The fleet operators go talk to them. And today I was in an Innova. I drove, I mean, the Innova transported me from my house in central Bangalore to say this place, Taj Bangalore, where the Outros drive is happening. I was talking to the Innova driver. His name is Mohammad Farooq. Okay, he worked in Dubai, driven a lot of EVs. Now he's in India, basically driving an Innova for his living. So I asked him. He was asking me about EVs, and I told him that why don't you adopt EVs, or why don't you even do CNG? The reason he told was there are some customers who specifically say I don't want a EV, I don't want a CNG because they're worried that this guy may stop for an hour or 1.5 hour for charging. Okay, that is a perception. But the fact of the matter is perception is reality. That is how things work in this world. You like it or not, that is perception is reality. Right? That
No, sir.
perception you guys are trying
Sir,
to fight, which is
sir,
fair
sir,
enough.
you are
But
right.
you can't
You are
say that
right. You are right, sir.
this is exactly it's working for everybody. Everybody should do this. That won't work. If you even tell that, and the person's going to come back and say,
Shashank
why
sir,
did you guide me wrongly? That is my problem. You guys aren't understanding
sir,
that.
you are absolutely right. Sir, you are absolutely right. We are just saying, Nikhil started the conversation that EVs are not for everybody. So we are not on the step
No,
two.
that's it.
We are
See,
not
EVs,
we are not
I
banning.
will see if you look at our stories
We are
today. Some gentleman, I think Electri or somebody, yeah, he's here. This guy came and said that, why don't you say V12 is good? See, the thing is, I don't have to say what he wants me to say. But if you look at the stories, we've done
I
this guy,
never,
I don't know, Rakesh
I
Kaswan, I
never
think he's here.
mentioned V12 is good for
Rakesh
you, sir.
Kaswan rescued a Tata Nexon EV, okay, with his Tata Curve. We covered that story. And we also did one more V2L story very recently, which I put out on the site. And I told him that there is no website in the country that's done all these stories. We are doing it. It is not that we or me. Okay, we in the sense, see, I have to approve all these stories, only then they go live. The fact is, we are not against it. All right, we will
But
always highlight the positives. We will also highlight the negatives. So, but
that
you
is
guys,
okay. But
the EV fans can't come back
if
and say you can't highlight the negatives. That is wrong,
no,
right?
no,
You
wait,
have to
wait,
highlight
wait.
both
But
things.
but one,
Can I
if you
intervene, please?
one second, one point, just one point. Jay, we are not asking you to not highlight the negatives, but if at one point you've quoted a wrong example or a wrong fact, and we are saying that the fact is wrong, then at least agree to that. That yes, okay, fine, that fact was wrong. Given the information that has been provided by the owners, this seems to be the fact, or this seems to be what it is. We are not telling you to not say that battery failures are there. Yes,
Sir, this,
battery failures are
sir,
there,
this,
but
no, no, no,
the
this
problem
Nexon
is
EV, nine
problem
out
is
of 10 guys who drive the Nexon. Okay, sorry.
huh huh go ahead.
No, no. See, the Nexon EV, when I brought up this example, the reason is
Hmm.
a new Nexon EV, if the battery fails up to say 5 years or 6 years or something, there is warranty, etc., etc. All
Eight
right.
years.
So why 8 years? Yeah, 8 years or 160,000 kilometers or whatever. Okay. So see, my brother who's been using in the sense for his factory, who's been deploying the Nexon, or not the Nexon, the Tiago.EV for his purpose, he is basically in 2 years he's completed about 80,000 kilometers, 86,000 last time I spoke to him, which
Mm-hmm.
is about a week ago, about the mileage, how much it's covered, etc. All right, he's done 86,000 kilometers. Apart from the occasional HV error that we've managed by just stopping for some more time, letting the battery cool down and then recharging it, then it's working. It's fine. So it's been working for us. But we are already almost run through the warranty. Within another 2 more years, I think we'll run through the warranty. So we as customers will have an apprehension if something happens, because Tata cars, though I'm sitting in a
Sir,
Tata even
my
right now,
question.
are known to fail, right? If it fails and if you have to spend an exorbitant amount of money, this will actually hurt a
So
customer, and so
Sir,
the
one
people
question.
will be
Sir, one question.
apprehensive. So you can't
One
tell
question
don't be
further.
apprehensive about it. Yeah.
One question further. How much money would you have saved
so
versus, for example, your own
Sir,
example?
a huge amount of money we would have saved, sir. But we
so
buy an EV to save money, right? We don't buy a EV to spend it for the battery
Can I
replacement, right?
so
And if we see failure, that is a fear. It is, see, finally fear drives
understand,
people to do certain things. Yeah,
Jay,
understand.
that is
Jay,
what's
Can you
happening.
Jay,
understand to
I
second point? second point, do you know even if the battery fails, the battery still, for example, a lead acid battery which is there in your current home today, which you use for a inverter, which powers your house for 3-4 hours when the light goes out. That lead acid battery, when it goes off after 4-5 years, you give it to one guy, the guy takes it, gives you a new battery, gives you a replacement cost for it. Why does he give you a replacement cost for it? Is because that battery is reusable. The body of the battery, the plates inside the battery, they are all reusable. That's why they give you money for that battery. Same way, after 1,60,000 kilometers, the battery still will not become zero value. Okay, the battery value will not become zero. Okay, two, give it 2 more years. I'm telling you, there'll be people in India who will be coming and telling you, sir, battery though, I will get it repaired for you in X amount of rupees. I will give you a guarantee of an year also for this to be running again. All of this, why you're saying is a unknown, is because today the ecosystem is the circle has not completed. Why the circle has not completed? Nobody has reached the point where the battery went out of serviceability. And if even they would have gone, maybe the manufacturer themselves would have said कि sir आप छोड़ो लाओ हमको दे दो battery, we will replace it for you. ठीक है.
सर मैं वही बता रहा
लेकिन
हूँ, तो अभी तक वो इकोसिस्टम सर्कल कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ है ना,
अरे
तो
तो
होने से
तो
पहले हम नहीं
आप
बता
उससे
सकते कि
आप ये
होगा।
तो फिर
तो
आप
ऑल ऑफ
नेगेटिव नहीं बोल सकते ना, फिर आप
अजम्पशन
नेगेटिव नहीं,
सर।
फिर नेगेटिव भी नहीं बोल सकते। अगर एजम्पशन है तो नेगेटिव ही मत
नेगेटिव
बोलो।
क्या बोल रहे हैं, हम बोल रहे हैं कि ऐसे हो भी सकता है, ऐसे हो सकता है, बिकॉज सी इट इज ऑलवेज द फियर
तो
ऑफ
फिर
द अननोन।
दूसरा भी
सी इन
बोलो
एनी
ना,
बिजनेस प्रॉस्पेक्ट, नो, इट इज द अननोन दैट
दूसरा भी
रियली
बोलो ना।
मैटर्स, नॉट द
Yeah, so I want to make a point. When Jay sir gave an example of Nexon, I would give my example. Okay, I hope I am audible, right?
Yeah.
Yes, what we do is Rakesh sir, you give your
Okay.
example, then Akhil sir will speak.
Okay,
Right?
fine. So, Jay, I was in the same boat in year 2020, whether I should go for EV or not. Okay, Nexon and MG were the two choices back then in 2020. I took a risk by a calculated risk by calculating that okay, in any car of the size of Nexon, at least running or overall cost of 10 rupees per kilometer, including car valuation down and the fuel and all, 10 rupees per kilometer is basically the cost for any car of the size of Nexon. So I calculated that okay, 1,60,000 and 8 years is the warranty. I'll end up saving 1,60,000, sorry, 16 lakhs at the end of the warranty period. If I'm able to use the car till the warranty period, this is what I'm going to get benefited. Okay, so I bought a Nexon in 2020. Today in 2025, I have run it almost 1,20,000. Even if it does not, if it fails today, or let's say after 40,000 kilometers, I'm done with it. Okay, I'm super happy till date. I have never stranded on road for a single day. Okay, after 8 year, whatever it will run, it is a bonus for me, and I know for sure with my experience that it is not going bad after 8 years or 1,60,000 kilometers. Even if there are some cells weak in the battery, they are replaceable. And EVs are are a
Rakesh,
kid as of
I
now. We
think
can't say oh it cannot walk straight or it cannot do that, this and that. We have to handhold it for some time. We need to give it some time to be in the mainstream.
Rakesh, I think we can agree that yes, there are some uncertainties, and I we do not expect everyone to handle that or agree to that or make decision based on that. Some uncertainties will remain, and there people will have doubt, and that's fine. But on the same time, it is okay to accept that lots and lots of people are agree to accept the technology as it is now, and they are on that. Yes, things will improve. So, Akhil, if you can hear us now, please.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Sorry,
Yeah.
I joined very late. First of all, uh, I have to appreciate Jay for coming on and putting across his point of view. I think he's completely justified in the space that he is. When a lot of people will be coming up to him and asking him for vehicle advice. He is portraying whatever he is with the information that he has on hand. And see, like it or not, we have to accept that there are issues, right? So these issues, they are getting addressed at various levels between manufacturers, between all the stakeholders, and at the same time, there are success stories throughout. I mean, there are so many of us who are using EVs without any issues. It all boils down to the fact that we have to sort of look at it from the same angle as how we look at ICE vehicles. We all have our perspective in our minds, right? Which is a good car, which is an unreliable car, or which is a good manufacturer, which is an average manufacturer, and so on. It's the same thing with every product that we use. We all have perspectives, right? So we have to allow the market to decide which way it wants to go. Even among prospective EV owners, among the fence sitters, we have to present them with all the information we have, and I think that is what Jay is doing. So I think he is justified in what he is saying, because fortunately or unfortunately, the cars that we have had, among let's say 10 models, 2 models might have been problematic, which are also getting addressed. But as things stand, that is where we are now. So um, I think that we have to play a little bit of a balancing act here. That is my point of view.
Yeah, absolutely. Like these were the words of wisdom which required.
Can
I
I?
think now we will let Electri to speak.
Thank you, thank you. So number one, Jay sir, I would want to correct you one. I never asked you why don't you promote V2L. That's number one. Number two, we might feel like you might feel like we are fanatics or we are enthusiasts. Yes, we are enthusiasts. I do not disagree with that. But as it was mentioned before, we have never said just go and adopt EVs. It depends on the use case. The point of contention here is the misinformation that is being spread. There was a thread, I guess it was by Vogue Club, Sundardeep ji, and it mentioned that Tata EVs are air cooled. They are air cooled thermal management system, which was incorrect. Okay? It was pointed out. He deleted that particular post, but he did not put out a correction post after that. And many of his followers and many others who are where the post was fed would have seen it. So that is the misinformation that we fight. We are not over here to pass on our point or our agenda. That is something we want to correct. And as you mentioned, that when you put a headline to an article, okay, it leads to more clicks or more views. But you also have to remember that it is only that particular headline which stays with the reader. The reader will think that an EV got stranded, and that is what they are going to spread as a word of mouth. So if the article heading, I know you're doing it for SEO, for Google ads, for a website or whatever it may be, but you have to understand the point that we are trying to promote EVs. We are not trying to downgrade ICE, but what it comes across from your end, it's like you are downgrading EVs. Whereas in your private space, you might be saying EVs are good or you might be providing a balanced view. But on social media spaces, it does not feel like that you are providing a balanced view. There was a recent thread which was few days ago, where there was a misconception going on that an annual degradation of 2 to 3% of battery. Number one, we do not have the data to support it. There are no particular studies of India specifically to support this particular claim. But if you, an influencer like you, editor like you, and other car influencers like you, they put on this point across, it. What do you think the general public will perceive this as? So that is the kind of misinformation. We don't have that information, so we don't say, look, it will last till 100% for X many years. We don't say that. You won't see any one of us say that. But from your point, it comes out no 2 to 3% will degrade in 1 year. So where is that information coming from? What are you quoting? That is the point that we are contesting. You are providing a balanced view, perfect. But before posting anything on a social media space, there should be a QC from your end as well. There should be a perspective of not only getting clicks for your website, there should be something of an ethical manner as well. That if you can give the reason of why the BE6 was stranded in there, and you can highlight the problems of the charging infrastructure in that article. I know Mahindra BE6 is garnering a lot of search engine views in Google, and that's why that was required. But if you have just mentioned that this is a problem with charging infrastructure, and we would accept it, we are saying there
If
are
you had read the
problems.
story, if you read the story, you would have seen us pointing about
Again,
all the stuff. No,
we have done that, Jay sir,
even
and
now, please go read
we
it.
have done that discussion. We have done that
I think
BE6
we
No,
have
and
gone
discussion.
second
on
thing is,
this story
if
point
you say
multiple
why
times now.
2 to 3%, the fact of the matter is, guys, listen. You know what? If I maintain my cars very well, or if I maintain my phone very well, no, I am gonna get, my mobile phone's gonna last me 10 or 12 years. Apart from the software stuff, whatever that happens. At least for motorcycles, I'm a major motorcycle guy, not a car guy, but still my motorcycle is going to last me, my lifetime if I'm going to maintain it very well. But the fact is, I always have to go with the median. I can't go saying that this guy is going to charge exactly, he's going to rebalance his cell, because Tata, if you look at the manual, they say every so many fast charges, you have to do a slow charge, etc. You can't expect the common man to treat it like that, because if my wife, if I give her a Mini Cooper, what is that? If see, there was a the argument whether we should buy the Cooper S or the other Cooper. What is it called? Cooper E. All right,
Countryman.
the Cooper E, the electric version. All right, my
EE,
wife was
Okay.
mini
leaning
mini.
towards that, but I bought the S because I also like to drive. I like the feel of the S more than the. Now again, the feel guys don't pounce on me. It's just a preference. I'm sorry, it's just a preference. So see, the fact is,
Jay,
so I'll have to,
I
we'll
would
have to
agree.
go take the middle
The
ground. We'll
point
have to
is,
think
if you
that
do not
we'll have to
have,
make things idiot proof. It can't become idiot proof so soon. It will become idiot proof in
I
10 years time.
it's not about.
I would agree.
So
I would agree with
let's
Jay here that
let's
manufacturers have something to do here, because once Tata started this 4DC 1AC, then MG copy pasted it, and now Mahindra has copy pasted it, and such a bad thing that they are doing this. By multiple DCs are absolutely fine. I think Tata has done K2K trips, and they have done continuous DCs, and the car is absolutely fine. The way
Sir,
manufacturers are
do you
doing
know?
some
No, 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 sir, sir.
conveying
I'm
some
very sorry
things.
to interrupt you, sir. You know how many times the Sirish had trouble driving from Kanyakumari to say Kashmir,
I
and
know
how many
regarding the
times Bunny
Nexon
had
ones.
trouble. The problem is this
I
doesn't come
know.
onto the media, because these are paid stories. You won't know it, but as industry people, we know
And
what is going on,
We
I'm
right?
not. I'm
totally,
not saying
And second
these
thing
totally
were
is,
the
agree,
Tata
better
Jaisar.
claims
trips.
450
Jaisar,
kilometers. It
Jaisar,
gives
we
only
totally
300 on
agree
the
on
road,
that
which is
point.
normal.
That is why we are saying that we
We
are not, as you mentioned, us as AV enthusiasts or fanatics, as you call it. Okay, did we ever mention that? Okay, this was done without any mistakes or without any breakups? No, we did not, because we know the backend information. That's the same point for you. If you do not have a general information that 2 to 3% batteries degrade annually, why make that point? You bring out all the problems that are genuine problems for the EV industry, and we will support you, because those general problems will lead to improvement from the manufacturers, from the CPOs, and the whole ecosystem will improve. But
Sir, first gen
when you bring
Ather.
out points which are not backed up by data, and just like the 2 to 3%, just like air cooled systems and many other things, that is the point of
Yeah,
contention that we are making. We have nothing against you.
you know, guys, Electric and Jay, I think I would wrap this up with this summary that
No, Nikhil, let it continue for 5 20. Now it's kind of, now everyone is hot now,
no,
So
it's
we call.
No,
that's the
sir.
problem. Everyone
No,
is
even
hot
the
now.
two to three
I will
The
just I will
percent,
points are
just
not
even
being
that two
made.
to
no
three
let
percent thing,
Sunil,
Let me
sir,
let me summarize. Let me
Sir,
summarize,
sir,
and
first
if I'm wrong,
generation
let me
ethers
know.
were having that degradation, sir. They were using NMCs or so on and so forth. But the first generation ethers, if you look at people, who they had about 80 kilometers to start off with in say 3 or 4 years. It came down to around 60 kilometers of usable range. This
Sir,
is a
two
fact.
wheelers and four
A
wheelers
lot
are
of people,
different
sir,
construction,
it is
sir. You
different. No,
have
no,
to
it is different.
understand
See,
that. You have to
EVs,
Sir,
mention that you're
let's
talking
sir,
about
let's
three
let's
wheelers then.
let's please
You
hold
can't make a
on.
general
sir,
Let's
assumption
take a
by
two
talking
pause.
only
wheelers
about two
are two
wheelers.
wheelers are bought by
Sir,
more
let's
people.
please take a
Two
halt.
wheelers are bought by more people. A guy
So
who has a two
mention two
wheeler is
wheelers,
also
sir.
likely to
Jay
buy a
So
sir,
four
mention
wheeler.
two
Jay,
wheelers in your comment.
Jay and Sohail,
At,
let's
at,
take a pause. Let's take a pause. Let's
you
take a
know,
pause. So
let
so
me
what we do
summarize.
is, Nikhil, just hold on. You also did, Rakesh sir. Hold on. So let's Nikhil, I'm doing your work, right? So
Okay.
we have to appreciate Jay sir to come into this space, which is like one versus the rest. So we have to appreciate that, right? The B6 story, it is done. The
Not one.
stories are
Even I
done
own
like that.
EVs.
No, right. But you still currently, if it's a movie, so we are so we are all our heroes, right? So let's agree on one thing, that electric powertrain are a new powertrain in India. We all agree. It is not for everyone. We all say that, right? So manufacturers are also learning. Even the EV customers are also learning. But the real point is, if somebody like Rakesh sir, Akhil sir, or anyone who owns an electric vehicle, and Jay sir also owns an electric vehicle. So we all have to share our real world experience, so that a fence sitter knows, yes, this is I am planning, this is what Akhil sir is saying, this is what Jay sir is saying. So these are their experiences, and if everyone would agree that as EV owners, we are well qualified to answer on EVs, rather than a guy who comes randomly on Twitter and gives the Gyanofying without even having test driven an EV, right? उसको किलोवाट आवर का नहीं पता, वो आके ज्ञान देता है ईवी पे बैठोगे आग लग जाएगा, ये एबीसीडी जो भी है, ठीक है. So on ARI range we agree that manufacturers need to improve. On CPOs we agree that it has to improve. On warranties we say that lot of things have to be done, right? So, and lot of variables are there. 10 years, like now the heating or the heated discussion was on degradation. I am not bothered about degradation if I am as an EV owner. Like you said, पहला step था कि मैं EV owner है, ठीक है? Okay. So studies on EV degradation are there. Let it be like that. But because of degradation and a data which comes after 10 years, if I am 40, I will wait for buying an EV when I enter my 50s. It doesn't work like that. Yes, there is a degradation. होगा यार, देखी जाएगी, कुछ नहीं होने वाला, ठीक है, छोड़ो, सबके लिए नहीं है, ठीक है. So we have to agree on that. Lot of variables are there, lot of things are there.
OEMs ने
So it's
8 years
fine.
वारंटी शुरू किया था. Now they are giving lifetime warranty also.
So in that also we have to see what nitty-gritties come, like once 15 years happen. So it's a new, what I always say is, we are in, we are entering, we have just not matured as an EV ecosystem in India. So it's just it just everyone who takes an EV in this 15 years is kind of an early adopter. We are the earliest adopters, right? So it's fine. So we have to give the real picture. Jay sir will do his bit, Rakesh sir will do his bits, right? We will always argue with Jay sir, नहीं sir ऐसे करना था, नहीं sir वैसे करना था, ठीक है. Next time a BMW drives the wrong side, we have to write on the website that BMW was driving on a wrong side. He's right. Then only the views will come. Alto coming on the wrong side will not have views, na, right? So it's fine. So it happens. So any NTV news, it just goes viral. Any car which gets fire, you just check the number plate whether it's an EV or EV होगा जल गया. So it happens. So ठीक है, मतलब it's a new ecosystem. We have to agree it's a new ecosystem. Everything will work. Everything will take its own shape. Uh, right. So, I think now I will let someone who is left out.
I'll
Anyone else who wants to
I'll just
speak
come in here for
can
just
just
one
say,
minute. Regarding the
yeah.
point you said about EV news selling more, I feel like media and publications have a responsibility. अगर perception negative है, if there's a negative perception, if you can't fix it, then not add to it. And I personally feel like Jay's point about having to optimize for clicks or having to put things a certain way, I personally feel like it's on the irresponsible side of the spectrum. You can have your biases against EVs, and they can be well mentioned and they can have merit. and that's fine. You can say that you don't like them for XYZ reasons, but you know it's wrong when you're turning a charger story into an EV story, or a ticket story into an EV story. That's one. And second, the other point I also agree about Jay saying that people are afraid of the unknown. They're afraid that the battery might fail. They're afraid of a bunch of things. But it's only rational to think of these things as as probabilities and statistics. If 1% or 2% of batteries fail, but 3.6% of all deaths in India are from car accidents, people don't fear driving. Therefore, they shouldn't fear EVs. And if you cannot fix this, you should add on to this sort of fear or irrational sentiment. That is all. About EVs not being for everyone, fully agree. About about EV trips being needing planning, fully agree. There are a bunch of people I think who just don't want to look at an app or plan where chargers are, and for them EVs are not a good idea. And there must be a bunch of other people too, for a variety of reasons, for whom EVs may not make sense. And I can agree on that. But everything else, those are my takes. That I think we're being irrational, being negative, uh, uh, and it's unrequired at this point.
So I think we all broadly agree, and sometimes it's like more of conservative or more of aggressive views. It's fine. We have to fully respect Jay sir, like he came into this space. It's really, really appreciable, sir. It's kind of a space where it is right wing versus left wing. So it is very difficult to enter a
No,
space where it is
I
one.
mean, media has a role to play, and as much as we might want that,
Yeah, yeah,
okay, media, but media has a role to play, and we will
absolutely.
have keep having discussion with Jay and everyone else. And
So Nikhil, we have two people who want to speak. Pranav, if you can say, and Jay sir recognizes him, and Pranav recognizes Jay sir, and then Simran wants to speak. Then we will end the space. If somebody wants to ask a question, he or she can ask for the speaker request.
Simranjit, you have 1 minute.
Simranjit is listener.
I think he left. Yeah, okay.
No, he's there. Simran and Pranav को
Uh,
speaker दे लो. उसके बाद Rakesh
I am
sir
now
wind up
I
करना
am
है.
here now.
Simranjit, you have 1 minute.
Ji. Okay. So the story of degradation is not a EV story. It is a Tata story, and uh, Tata's market share has also degraded 70% to 30% because of that. Let's not generalize it to be a degradation story. There was one positive story to add it to as well. BYD E6 offered a 5 lakh kilometer warranty in India. It was historic. It was never published in the media that now there is a car in India, irrespective of being an EV or ICE, where you have a lifetime opportunity to get a 5 lakh kilometer warranty. So it's not that simple. So
Sir,
positive stories.
Cartalk published it, sir. Cartalk published it. 5 lakh kilometers. Huh?
I was just
सर
about to
नहीं
say
नहीं
that.
नहीं सर सर सर
Simranjit,
हाँ नहीं sir. Car Talk published is a 5 lakh kilometer, but it was not projected as that this is unprecedented in the automotive sector by anyone. I read all the media at that
Simran,
time.
even BYD didn't did that because it was B2B. So
No, no,
sorry, it was B2C. That is why it was
no.
not.
and
Later on, that
and
car became B2B, and it is still a gold mine. Nobody is publishing the article that if you can find a second-hand 2, 3, 4 years old uh, E6, it is a gold mine. The warranty still continues for the second owner. I've confirmed it from multiple showrooms in BYD. There is no clause that the second owner doesn't get the warranty. Secondly, the blade battery coming in Mahindra, Shanghai taxis, the even not this E6 model, the earlier E6 model in Shanghai, there are multiple articles on Chinese media. They completing 6 lakhs, even 1 million kilometers with the same battery with only 10 to 15% degradation. So these reliability stories also have to come to the media. Both things have to come. Tata degradation HV error was a fiasco, and Tata is certainly going to lose even more market share because of that. Because better batteries, better cars are coming, and the damage that it has done to Tata, I don't think Tata will recover from it until and unless they get a new battery BMS, a completely new BMS in their cars and prove it to their customers that a next generation of BMSs come with us. Even so the degradation is a Tata limited event, and
I,
the market has punished Tata for that.
I won't say there's degradation. It's a more of a BMS and software issue in
It's a
Tata with the
BMS issue.
quality,
So what we can
with the pack manufacturing quality. That's in the question, and
so
that
what we
has
and
indeed some
Nikhil
real damage.
So Nikhil, what it suggests is, so basically when initially Tata came into the four wheelers, they had a reliability issue, right? And then they had a phase with safety and all those new designs. They got to uptech. Then they entered into EV space. Now in the EV space, they are having reliability issues. So
Yeah.
so we are done with that. So let's get Pranav to speak, and then if somebody has a question, then we will wind up.
Pranav is not in speakers. He hasn't requested also. Okay, I think we should wrap this up now. And
Pranav is there or he's left?
no, he's not here.
He's EV क्रांतिवीर है ना वो कहाँ गया? He's not here, right?
No, no.
So
So
anybody else having some
Pranav is
question
here. Maybe
in
you
this
can
part?
provide him the speaker access. Maybe he's not very well versed
I'm
with
not seeing Pranav
spaces.
in this.
No, Pranav is here. Pranav is here.
Yeah, Pranav, Nikhil will make you speaker.
so Ganesh Raj, I would give you speaker access for a minute. Ganesh, am I audible? So yeah, you have 1 minute. Introduce yourself and
Yeah,
please wrap
yeah.
this up.
I'm Ganesh. I'm from Bangalore, and I own a Nexon EV Max. I just had like a general question that Mahindra BE6 is getting 79 kilowatt hours battery on the lower variant as well. Do you expect that, or do you have any information that that news is
Yeah,
credible?
the pack 2 should get 79 kilowatt hour version in near future.
Okay, okay,
Pack 1 won't get it as far as I know, but pack 2 should get that.
okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.
Okay, cool.
Right. Thank you. So thank you. Pranav.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to say specifically. I know Jay will not agree to anything that we say, so it doesn't really matter.
Come on, man. It's okay. Go
It
on.
needs to be healthy
इतना
discussion, guys.
इतना जल्दी हाथ
Yeah,
ऊपर
yeah.
नहीं कर सकते यार तुम.
हाँ. अरे प्रणव भाई, जिंदगी में और बहुत मसले हैं. अभी तुम्हारी मैरिज हुई है कि नहीं?
2 बच्चे हो गए भाई.
अच्छा,
कल
ठीक है.
ही
तो
बेटी
मतलब
हुई
अच्छा,
है.
तुम वो सारा गुस्सा जय सर पे निकाल रहे हो तुम, हाँ?
नहीं नहीं.
No, discussion should be healthy and they should not be personal. That's it.
Yeah.
So we can agree to disagree. There is
It's
no
not
problem.
personal.
Yes,
I said that Jay
absolutely.
will not agree.
And I mean, जय सर के साथ शायद 2-3 साल से चल रहा है हमारा इंटरेक्शन, सो ठीक है, चलता रहेगा,
तो
आगे भी
ऐसा
चलता
करेंगे ना,
रहेगा.
एक दिन जय सर और प्रणव की और निखिल की इकट्ठी स्पेस बना देंगे, आराम से बातें करते रहना पूरा दिन.
Well, next time we have a drive in, I think the NCR, Pranav can actually join us. I have absolutely nothing against him, man. It's fine. He
Yeah,
can have a
you're
different point
absolutely
of
right.
view. So what? It's okay. I'm not saying. See,
Yes, yes.
and you notice, no, have muted some people, including Pranav, but I've never blocked anybody because see, I'm a media guy. If I block somebody, no, I can't know what they're thinking. If they're not, if I don't know what they're thinking, half my job is screwed up. So I have to know what you think, even though I don't want to hear everything. I have not blocked anybody. So that's the whole point. So I'm just honestly telling you
No,
this.
Right.
Or say a beer or a coffee or
media
whatever
guys
you
love
like.
to text me
When I
when they
come to
have to ask
Gurgaon,
some
we will
question or
talk,
get some
or
information.
you guys can express yourself. I will express myself. That's all.
आपके
Zero. I have nothing against
आपको
anybody.
block
Okay,
करते
please.
हैं सर.
Let's get this straight.
Okay, lovely. Yeah. So, well, thank you everyone. It
So
should
नहीं,
be
एक बात
three.
रहेगी यार,
अच्छा,
निखिल.
one minute, just 1 minute. जय सर,
आप लास्ट में आप बोलना सर. राकेश सर, एक बात रहेगी बट
हाँ बोलो.
सर, अगर थ्री इडियट्स आई होती उस टाइम पे, अगर V2L आया होता तो थ्री इडियट्स में V2L यूज होना था.
अच्छा सर,
महिंद्रा Just today, is green drive here? So I got his screenshot of V12 demand
Yeah,
from
yeah.
someone.
Sorry,
I'm
it's
like,
not
this
electric.
guy needs.
I'm very sorry. It was not electric. It was green drive. He asked me, "You're not
Yeah.
doing. Why are you not supporting V12?" We've done two stories. We did the story with Mr. Rakesh Kaswan. He recharged that Nexon EV. We did that, and the second story that we
Yes.
did was, the Nexon EV powering the entire house. This is 3 days ago. So if I am against, say, EVs, why would I do all these stories? I mean, it doesn't make sense, no?
No, sir. What I will
I
say
want to
is,
speak here. It's
Akhil sir
not
is
the
really.
Cartoon articles that I'm always against, sir.
Sir,
It's your perspective.
where you are doing right thing, we are appreciating you. This is Rakesh Kaswan. Somebody told me, oh, it is your story on Car Talk. Do you have you given consent? I said I don't care about the consent as long as something good is happening for EV. I'm okay with it.
Also, Jay, I'll show you a tweet where you tweeted that why would I want to power my house with a car? That was your
No, no,
tweet.
that is true. That is true, gentlemen. Because see,
That's why are you taking mixed
Mahindra didn't offer V12. If you talk to the engineers now, they will tell you. Because there'll be some clown, you know what he'll do? He'll try to operate his heater with the
No,
V12 and something can
Jay,
happen. So that is the reason.
Jay, the reason Mahindra didn't do V12 is because their management didn't thought that people would find it useful.
No, 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 no. That
Engineers,
is that is what they say. That is what they say in the front, right? But the real reason was a bunch of engineers, not just one. Multiple people told, see, or there are people we don't know how people will use it, and the technology is very new. If they use it in some other way that we don't anticipate, and if this causes the car to break down, it will cause a problem for us. So we thought we'll play safe. Eventually, if the market warms up to this technology, we will offer it. That is what the tech
no,
day
You
they
are
told
right, sir.
us.
With
see,
Mahindra,
see,
man, you can
Mahindra
expect anything.
Mahindra right now has a hardware that is V12 capable, but that is not in the cars yet. So they are making it so because so many people are demanding it. But the reason why it wasn't, it would differ if you are talking to management, if you are talking to some one engineer or second engineer. So
Could
the
be, could
final
be, could
reason
be.
is,
This is what I
yeah,
heard. I
yeah.
can only say what they told me.
Because
We may never get the
I
right
talked to
reason.
some engineer also, and the main reason I was told was that because the company didn't thought that people would
It
find
is
this feature
it is
useful,
only
and the
it
and
is
the
only last
and
6 months that this is getting heated. When they decided to launch the car, this feature was very much
yes,
unknown feature and was thought that it is not useful for people.
No, no,
yeah,
it
yeah.
is
So
And
quite
Rakesh sir,
useful for
we
camping,
and
etc. Hyundai is, in
yeah,
fact, you know what? When this Creta drive happened, Hyundai had this whole V12 thing powering an entire tent setup. And recently we had this
and
MG
Jay
drive
sir,
in Guwahati, where we were getting
Jay
this.
sir, if you remember,
Yeah.
if you remember, Ionic 5 event was done with the V12
I
only.
can confirm.
Yes, even then they I think they ran the PlayStation or something with
No,
the
but
V12. Yes.
I'm a user.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
a
yes,
user who
yes.
uses it weekly, if multiple times a week, because wherever I park, I don't have a plug point, and I wash my car myself with a pressure washer. And I'm extremely lucky that I just plug it into the car to wash the car. So I mean, it's not a gimmick to me by any means. Every week, if twice a week, I use it to wash my car.
Wonderful. Great to
And
hear.
and
yeah,
Jason,
And Jay, I
hello.
will also show
Uh,
you another tweet where you compared V12 with 200-watt inverter.
Yes, 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 yes. I think somebody pointed. I think Pranav Jindal pointed out
I am
this,
the one
saying,
who is concerned
you
on
can
this.
only do to see. This is basically because, again, a lot of people use their cars maximum to charge their laptops,
No,
not to
no.
say power a home,
That is
etc.
because that
If
is
it's
the
available,
limitation.
yes. If it is not
That I
available,
think
this is the
because
use
that
case.
was
That's
the
the reason.
limitation because that
Not that
EV
I
is
don't know
not
about
for
it.
200 watt.
No, but
That is
you
because it
compared
is
yeah.
it
I
with
mean,
the
for 200
200
watt.
watt inverter, which can be used in ICE to V12. That was an
Yeah, yeah,
unfair
that is what. Because
comparison, right?
see,
No,
for me,
I
when
was
I do
talking
long
about
distance, no, I
using
use a car
V12 in
inverter
my car
to
with
recharge my
2 or
laptop.
3
So
kilowatt
for
of
me, that is
power.
sufficient. For somebody
So
like
that
me,
is what
I
I'm
may
telling
not
you, how
need
you are
V12. That's what I
limiting
was
the
saying.
use cases. That is how you are limiting the use cases. People
No, no,
use
sir.
only the
Again, all of it is
charge
opinion, sir. There
adapter
is no fact
because
here.
that is what
It
it's
is my
approved.
opinion. I may
Pranav,
be
you're always
responding to
wrong.
somebody who was, possibly pushing me to a corner. I would have told this is all it can do. So this possibly would have been a response to that. And if you hold it against me after 5 years, after more evolution happens, it won't work.
It was an unfair comparison. I hope you would agree to that, right?
All right, all right, all right. I concede. I concede, gentlemen. It was an unfair comparison. From now, I will compare it only to say recharge much larger things. Great. That is fine. That is okay. No problem. No sarcasm. This is from the heart.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
I
Can I
would
pitch in
suggest
pitch in for a moment?
yes. Rakesh sir,
Okay,
then you
Jayadi,
can.
as we are talking about positive stories, there is one story that you can do for the EV community that will be good. Instead of having so many multiple wallets, if you can write an article that the government should link all EV wallets to
No,
fast wallets,
I,
that
I,
will be a
I,
great
I
article.
would say let us not request Jay sir to cover that. If he will cover, it will not be in our favor for sure.
No, not
See,
exactly, man.
the
That's what you
fastag
think. No,
thing,
no,
that
no.
fastag
Because
thing is being done by
I
Pulse
think we already
Energy.
have a fastag story. It is lying in one of my queues. Let me look at it. Maybe it is already about this. I don't know. It may be already about this.
Guys, the
And second thing, Hyundai has done a
fastag
nice
thing is
thing, no,
already
where
being
you
worked on
pay
by
from the
Pulse
car
Energy.
itself.
It is
No,
the
Hyundai has got
way.
this. Hyundai Creta has this feature, no,
So,
where you can pay from the car itself.
Jay sir,
Yes.
it is the way you put the things across that can become positive or negative.
Sir, that is again what I'm saying, sir. Why should I put something as positive or something as negative?
You will
See, I'll give
only
you an example.
publish what
I'll
you
just give
feel
you
is
an example.
positive
Listen,
things.
listen,
You will
listen.
advocate for it.
Listen, every day I have run-ins with brands. Today, what happened was Aprilia has got this engine, the 457cc engine. A lot of people are having issues. All right. We did that story also, saying Aprilia has got engine issues. That doesn't mean all ICs are bad, right? But if Aprilia there is an engine issue, I am going to say there is an engine issue. All right, this can maybe impact advertising, but I don't care because I'm not the marketing department here.
Sir,
And this guy Jindal targeted, I mean,
for
asked whom Mudit Seth. Mudit Seth joined Kartok in 2017, gentlemen. I'm here from 2013. I'm one of the co-founders. I'm the co-founding team.
Great. Good
So,
for
so
you.
we know, we know, we
How
know.
is he gonna fire me?
No,
He
no, we
can't fire
know,
me.
we know, we know,
So
sir. We
you
know.
have to approach Nitin Srivastava or you have to approach Vikas Kaul, and both of
No,
them
no,
studied,
no,
in the same college.
no.
All of them from
Guys,
IITs.
guys.
So we know. We always say that there's nothing. We shouldn't get any. We shouldn't get into personal things. So
No,
we
this
are
is
here
not
to.
personal. I'm just telling you. So even if I have to be fired, this is the
No, sir.
mechanism.
Nothing like that. We all know where you come from, and so we are nothing personal against. We should be clarifying that right from the word go that there is nothing personal.
Same
And
case. I
we
have nothing personal.
yeah.
I've always been civil with everybody. I will
No,
continue to be so
and we
because
really and
I love these stuff. Half my content comes from Tesla, Club India, and a lot of content comes from Mr. Rakesh Kaswan and
yes,
some
yes,
from
yes.
Mr. Anuj. So all of it, this is something valuable for me.
Yeah, you're right. We will just let Nikhil to wind up because
एक
it should be winded up on this day only.
Uh,
We have just five
would
minutes.
you guys
Yes,
let
yes,
me
sir.
wind up
Continue.
first?
one
So for Rakesh sir, we have 5 minutes because we have to end on Sunday. We
I
don't have to
I just
go to
want one
Monday.
minute, not even 5 minutes. So only one request to Jay sir. ICE is a adult, EV is a baby. Okay, adult we can still bash. Babies we still have to handhold. That's what you need to take little care of.
Sir, kindly look at my coverage on Car Talk, sir. Please just read stories. I will put it up from now. I'm gonna get a Twitter long form, content stuff, and I'm gonna put out even whatever stuff we do. And you will also see that out of 10 stories we do, there are at least 3 EV stories, and most of them are positive. Maybe there is one negative. That one negative you guys pick up because that is sensational. We can't help it. If there is a sensational story that has to be done, I have to do it. I can't say don't do this story, do only positive stories. That can't work. But the negative stories get more traction. That is how the media industry works. So this is the nature of the beast.
Yeah, that's
It's not that I intentionally go out and put out a negative story. I want to do a negative story. But if a negative story gets more traction, today, for instance, Mansi Kirloskar, her PA was talking to me in the evening. The reason was we did a story where we said that she got trolled because she put out a story for the RAV4. All right. And they got offended and we had to basically tweak the headline. Today evening, 6 o'clock in the evening, this happened. So, but the fact is, that is getting huge traction and that is working very well because people want to see somebody getting trolled, etc., etc. That's the nature of the media. Okay, I can't help it. So that is my whole point. It is
So no,
not
no, no,
that I
no.
want
Only
I have
one point.
anything against
Jay
TVs.
Prashant sir. Jay Prashant sir, only one point.
Yes, sir. Yes,
See,
sir. Yeah.
just a few seconds back, you told that Aprila, a few issues are there.
Yes,
So
sir.
similarly, I would say just similarly, you look at EVs. There may be some companies or some battery packs that may go kaput, okay, that may go fail, but it does not mean that the whole EV ecosystem is bad. That is our kind request to
Absolutely
you,
not.
and a
Absolutely
very
not.
kind request to you.
Yeah, and it's similar to like DPF issues or some issues which are coming because of
Sir,
the
DPF,
20%
Absolutely,
we
there
were
are
the
duty.
we were
thousands
the
of
first
issues in
guys who
ICE,
put out
thousands
that
of
Kia
issues.
people are
Yes,
having
yes,
to spend
yeah,
one and a
I
half to
know.
two
Yes,
lakh
sir.
rupees. We've done
You're right,
multiple
sir.
stories on the Kia
I know,
Seltos
I
and the
know.
Sonet
Yes,
diesels
yes, yes.
failing. So, this is content for us. That's all. We don't care whether it's an EV or it's a ICE or it's, hybrid or anything.
And we hope we will keep talking on this platform at least intermittently.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sir, thanks for everybody. Thanks for listening to my point of view also. I'm very grateful. I have a 5 o'clock event tomorrow morning, so I'll have to leave. Thank you very
So,
Thank you,
sir,
thank
much.
you, Prashant
one
sir,
question,
Prashant sir,
sir. One
Prashant
Bye bye.
sir.
question.
Only one thing, just a minute,
Sagar,
just a
one
minute.
minute.
Only
No,
one
Yes, sir,
thing,
no.
only
please.
one
No, no,
thing.
Sagar, one very important question. Sir, do we expect Altroz EV coming? Any hints?
Altroz EV today evening, there was one person who was talking to me. I mean, he's from the management. I can't reveal his name, but he's saying that we want to get something in between, the Nexon and I mean, not even the Nexon and the Punch, below the Punch they want because they're losing market share and they're desperate. There is a likelihood of Altroz EV, but the reason last time they didn't launch the Altroz EV, he also told was ground clearance could be a major challenge because the Altroz ground clearance is already low and the
Right,
wheelbase
right.
is pretty high, and if they put a battery and reduce the ground clearance it can be counterproductive, one thing. And second thing, if they're going to put a battery and they're going to raise the battery, the floor will rise. If the floor rises, then the rear seat passengers will have issues. So this is the only reason, but they are looking at the Altros EV. But as of now, there is no green signal from the product development, is what I'm given to believe. That from today's event, that's
Altro's
it.
prototype was shown in 2020
19,
Auto Show
2019,
also.
2019 Geneva, both the ICE as well as the EV was
Yeah.
shown at 2019 Geneva.
First the Geneva, then
Yep.
the
Right,
2020
and
Auto
and
Expo
and,
in
and
Yes,
India.
one
sir.
more
Yes,
thing,
sir.
one more thing, Dr. Saab, Prashant sir, I would request you just for a very good traction, just please write an article on criticizing OMCs for their lack of EV chargers or being operational. You'll get a lot of traction on that story from EV
Yes,
owners
sir.
only. You
In
will get
fact,
a
we have
lot of
personally
traction.
faced half the BPs where we go to, they don't work and they're very cumbersome. And you have to call somebody to come and open the system
So please,
for
please
you,
highlight
etc.
it.
We faced
Please
it.
highlight it in your article, sir. You will get a lot of
I'll,
traction from
I,
us only. We'll only give you full of
sir,
traction,
I'll
instantaneous
try, sir. But
traction.
okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, guys, thanks everyone. It's officially Monday, and we have spent last 3.5 hours here, and hopefully we'll meet on next weekend.